Hello!
Where? I don't know.
Okay, I have it up. I need to get chat up.
It says they can hear us, but can they really?
Hello, chat.
Console port 2077. I don't think this is a console port. I think it was the other way around.
Well, I think there's pretty solid proof of that, right? I mean, they really fucked that part up. I'm starting to think this is going to be, one of those $60 mistakes for me. I mean, I enjoyed what I played of it, but I'm just not feeling the draw.
I didn't have that on my first playthrough, but then I guess where I didn't have an option of like a good ending, and like the choices I made like were stuck, or I made bad choices or something. I'm not enjoying it the second playthrough at all. Like, I'm noticing all the flaws and like bad design choices. Like, the universe is good, but like the implementation leaves a lot to be desired.
The kids are so strange in this game to me. They're so like they're just adults that are shrunk down.
Mom, can I get Karoshi optics? Thanks.
What video
And they're
game
never
has
with an
done-
adult. Like,
What game has done children correctly?
in terms of like keeping them that perfect mix of cute and annoying, Skyrim.
Who are you?
No, the Skyrim children were terrible.
No, I
Everybody hated
adopted
them.
I installed mods to adopt more of them. Because you can only adopt 2, and that's bullshit, because you can make a giant house in that game.
I was gonna suggest Fallout with the mod that lets you kill the children.
Well, but you can't give them credit for that. I've been playing Phantom Brigade. Oh my god. It's early access, but if they do that correctly, that's going to be one of the greatest games of all time. It's fantastic.
What makes it
I'm looking
fantastic?
it up.
Just it's a novel mechanic. It's a real-time strategy, except you get like 10 seconds of future sight. So you know where the enemies are going and you know when they're going to shoot. But you're outnumbered and outgunned, and you have to use that future sight to try and like perfectly John Wick the situation, but it's giant mechs.
Oh. I don't feel like I would be good at that game.
I'm
But
pretty
it
good at
looks
it so
intriguing
far.
based on the Steam page.
Either it's too easy or there's going to be a difficulty spike that's just going to wreck me.
There are no reviews for this product.
Oh no, it's a Epic exclusive.
Oh. It's on Steam.
You
That's
can't buy it.
Yeah.
I just don't think the people reacting on the sidewalk makes any sense at all, because it was like I wasn't even driving completely erratically there.
Only a
Semper
little
Flave.
erratically.
Well, you know.
What is flav in Latin? Always flavorful? Wouldn't that be a great name?
Semper Flave. Thanks. Oops. Head-on collision.
Got him.
It's fine.
I don't think flav is even a Latin word.
No, I don't think so either. I don't want to brag, but I was president of the Latin club in high school. I don't know why a little high school in eastern Kentucky offered Latin classes. I don't think they do anymore. I think it ended shortly after I left high school.
Because medicine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that Semper Flav means always really flavorful.
Yes. Mayor of Flavortown.
He can't even have pets. It's that big of a problem.
Have you bought a car yet, Wendell?
Nope.
Aren't you a
Why would
corpo
you?
this playthrough? You should have a car.
There's no motivation to buy cars. You can just steal the nice ones if you need them.
Yes, I agree. And I was a corpo. I did have a
What can I
car,
do for you?
but like that was a thing in the last episode, because like my car, like I did the Delamain mission, and my car was wrecked. And so it's not in the menu anymore. But I could hit V and summon my car, even though it was, or summon a car, even though it was wrecked or whatever. And I bring up the menu, it's nothing. Then I got Jackie's motorcycle, and it was like, okay, I'll pick the motorcycle. And then I could only pick the motorcycle. I could never summon the car again. And then eventually I got the car back, and then repaired, and then yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Well, that's like $600. Should you buy these? Like, why are these here? You know, you're supposed to hunt the records.
Is that just an achievement thing? Like,
I don't know.
I never mess with that at all. Is there like a buy low, sell high mechanic?
That's what I was gonna try to do. Is I thought this was a cyberware vendor.
You gonna turn Cyberpunk into a merchant simulator?
Yeah. So check this out. I can do crafting, and let me see if I can do the. Well, hang on.
wait, were you just talking to the owner a second ago?
Yeah.
Wasn't the owner a dude a second ago?
No.
Am I imagining that?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Workshop disassembling. I can do.
Simper Flav has cats. I bet they're just constantly all over you, just drenching you in cat saliva. There's a serious cat food shortage in this town. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. I mean, there's plenty of the lower tier cat food, but the high price stuff that my boys like, can't get it.
You know what's been on Amazon Subscribe and Save for years? At my house.
Cat food?
Yeah, it just shows up.
So
That's not a bad idea, actually.
all
You always need it.
all they'll eat is cuts and gravy, not pate, and all they had at Meijer was pate and like the cheaper stuff. So I was like, okay, got to remember to go to Kroger. And I went to Kroger. They're also the whole shelf of cuts and gravy gone.
Apparently, there are shortages of some animal foods right now. Like, I don't think it's just here.
So I bought some Reveal cat food, and you know those like canned tuna or that canned chicken that's like $1 a can.
Yeah.
It looks and smells exactly the same. I mean, exactly. I cannot tell a difference. I didn't take a bite, but
You should have.
and it's $1.40 a can or something like that's crazy. I think they're just running cheaper fish and chicken parts through that same machine.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
There was some brand of dog food that had a major FDA recall because it killed like 30 dogs.
Oh, it was like, I looked at Sport Mix or something like that. Hang on. Don't you worry, I'll find it.
Is it like a sports drink for dogs?
No, I think it's like maybe for like hunting dogs and stuff. Sport Mix recall. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, those cats are crazy for that Reveal cat food. And for the first time ever, this has never happened before. Crouton finished Toast's food.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it usually the opposite?
Yeah, it's never. He always walks away, and he did walk away, and then Toast left like half a bowl to pursue Crouton's food because it's like it's always better for him to steal Crouton's food. He feels more satisfied than that. And then Crouton just, turned around and went to his bowl.
It's like, all right, you're gonna play it that way. I'll do that too.
And then eventually Toast gave up because I fed him too much because like a can each is way too much, but he just kept going. Take one. Okay, is that Take One? Like, that's funny. Subscribe with Prime. Thank you, Take One.
Thank you.
That's TAQ and then the number 1. Take One. Get it?
Take one, pass it around.
What movie was it could be a play on that too. I was thinking like the Taekwon, like the urban name. There's a movie where the character's Taekwon. I can't remember what it is.
If we skip wet foods too often, our cat will panic, eat the first one, and then puke.
Yeah, they do love it.
I'm so glad. Like, I don't know. I've never had a dog that's picky. We dog sit for a friend of ours this summer, and they have like a little tiny dog, and he's kind of old and grumpy. And he was real weird. Like, you had to mix chicken broth with his food, and like there's a little bit of wet food and a little bit of dry food, and I was like, this is a lot of work for this tiny little animal that doesn't care. Whereas Rue, I can literally just put trash on the floor and Rue will try to eat it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I do think that they changed the recipe for the blue food because it was thicker. It was harder to get out of the can when they started rejecting it.
Have you tried the Fancy Feast broth for the boys?
Is it Fancy Feast kind of a low quality cat food? Is that grain free?
I don't know about cats, but like dogs are grain free is not good for dogs. I don't know about
No,
cats.
you definitely want grain free for cats. Although they usually will just kind of fake it, and instead of using grains, they use potatoes.
Yeah. I think they found with dogs, like for a long time, grain free was like the trend. And then it was not so good. They started finding, I think, like dogs with, I can't remember if it was heart or kidney problems. They realized that they were missing some sort of key nutrient.
But this stuff, the reveal stuff, it's just in little shreds. It really doesn't seem like there's a lot of filler in there. And it also has like a gravy to it. And one of them was chicken with cheese sauce. And I don't think you're supposed to give cheese to cats.
Will it make them sick, or because Rue loves cheese? Like that is
No,
her
I
favorite
just,
thing.
I
in the
don't
world.
think dairy is like a natural cat food.
Oh yeah, they always tell you not to give cats milk, but cats love it.
All yours. What's so good?
Pisses me off when I hear about people's cats that are vegetarian. I don't
think a
think
lot
that's
of
true of
people are just
literally any
trolling.
animal. Yeah.
Do you think people are just trolling when they're doing that? I mean, Jesus Christ.
What does his sign say?
You got no home, sick kid, and a cheating wife. Need booze money ASAP.
I always like the I'm just going to be honest homeless signs. I wonder how effective those are. Probably not very.
I'm just disappointed that this Bucket Slice Diner, it says open, but it's not.
No.
Is there another place to get service?
There's no grocery stores in this city. They don't have any urban farms.
Yeah, well, I don't think there is any kind of. There's just street vendors and vending machines.
And that's weird, right? I think that's weird.
Guess it's the most efficient way to eat.
That looked pretty hard on my wrist.
Do any of the characters ever like reference that? Like,
No.
man, I wish I could cook, or like, I wish we could get fresh produce, but we only eat these noodles from the noodle cart.
The girl on the radio at one point says, "I was cooking dinner last night," and then she's like, "Oh well, what I was actually doing is just microwaving a burrito I found in the couch." I got to think that your diet. I guess your diet would have to be mostly ants and burritos if you ate out of the vending machines in this game. And how long could you just eat ants and burritos before it really started to catch up with you?
I think the ants cause stomach problems.
Oh, they got the chitin, right? I bet ants are a lot like corn.
They just go right through you.
Some parts just come on out.
I probably am not ready for this mission.
Why are there no cars here?
Neutralize the reported crime. Oh, this is gonna end bad.
No need to.
My VLC freaked out for a second.
You feel like you're getting better at this minigame?
Yes. No. Not at all.
Oh, you played yourself.
I did. I was so close.
Just run and gun. It's fine.
Oh, there's a cyberware person. I need to wait for my
Maybe we
RAM
can-
to recharge though.
We can find 11,000 ants somewhere. There's probably 11,000 ants in, like the square mile. Actually, there's going to be way more than that in the square mile around your house. Do you have any idea how many ants there are? Crazy.
There's no ants outside our house. Our house is pure.
I think that would be very bad for you if that was true.
It probably would be bad. You need insects. I learned that the hard way when I had to hand pollinate all my plants this summer.
Like some
Kind of
unnatural-
scrub.
something against nature.
Gray Monk subscribed and says equal.
Oh, thanks,
Hello.
Grey Monk. How's it going, Grey Monk?
Is that, I think what he's trying to say is 2021 is the year of equality.
I think 2021 is just 2020 in a mustache.
Yeah, well,
Well, I lost track of the cyberware person. Crap.
Did you watch any of the New Year's celebration? It was streamed live on YouTube.
you're talking about the Rockin' Eve?
Yeah, so they did that, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe they did that." But they only had like a handful of people there, and they were all in their own little socially distanced booths, and they were all masked. And then they had hundreds of wacky inflatable tube men lining the streets.
Who's
It
the host
was-
now?
I don't remember. It was like some Carson Daly lookalike. I don't know who he was.
Okay. Well, it's weird that they would give that to an unknown.
It probably is someone who's like well known, but I'm just not hip enough to know who it is. I couldn't get over the wacky inflatable tube men. It was just weird. I was like, I can't believe they made all this mess. But they needed to advertise. There were what was the name of the gym? It wasn't effective advertising because I don't remember now. There was a gym that like sponsored all of it.
A gym, you say?
Yes,
Isn't, isn't it weird to be advertising a gym? And oh, that did not work well for you.
yeah. It was strange that it was like. I guess it makes sense from like a New Year's standpoint because people go to the gym after New Year's to like work off all that holiday poundage. But I can't imagine anyone going to the gym right now.
Pro tip: when you're tactical reloading, you don't rush into the bullets.
Yeah.
Planet Fitness, that was it. It was all yellow and purple.
Do you know about Planet Fitness?
What? No, do they have something special?
Oh yes, they do.
I mean,
So
for
Planet-
van life, they're great.
For Planet Fitness is kind of like the gym for people who don't like the gym. And toward that end, they want to make sure that you're very comfortable. And if you feel like maybe you're, out of shape or something, that would make you uncomfortable. So they don't put a lot of emphasis on exercise at Planet Fitness.
Do they just put like cookies out in the lobby? I think I've heard that story about. I don't know if it was them.
You're joking. I don't know if they still do this, but it used to be when you signed up for the first time, you got a free Domino's pizza, like right there. They would just order
Well, they want you to work out afterward, obviously.
it. Yeah. And they've got this thing called the lunk alert. And if you make any noise while you're lifting, if like you're going hard and you're grunting, anybody can hit the lunk alert and someone will be dispatched to come and talk to you about your hard lifting.
That is strange. I personally never was really into like gyms, even when I had access to one in college. I don't like to work out to no purpose.
Well, the
Like,
purpose
I
is
feel
to,
like just standing around lifting weights doesn't make sense to me.
well, the purpose is to increase your performance, Krista, and secondarily, not as important, live longer.
Right. Not important. I like playing games and stuff, like playing a game of tag, going swimming, like stuff that's fun. I don't think like just lifting isn't fun to me. I can see why it might be for other people, but
It is insane though, based on the recent research they've done, when it comes to like you know, not getting dementia and living past 80 or whatever. You have to use resistance. You have to increase your muscle mass.
yeah.
Cardio shit just doesn't do it.
Are you telling me walking around my neighborhood with a backpack on isn't going to keep me living to 80?
Even dragging a dog collar and wearing your big day pack, I don't think will replace that. Now you put on that backpack like with the full load, put the dog over your shoulders, do some squats. Now we're talking.
Rue Dog wears a backpack too. That always gets big smiles when people see her out in the neighborhood. She's got a backpack on.
How could you not crack up if you saw Rue come down the street in a fucking backpack?
Yeah, she's got, it looks like little saddlebags on either side. It's adorable.
Trump's about to pull out a win, guys. I've not been following it at all. I saw something about the senators, the Republican senators doing something.
I listened to the phone call, and the phone call sounds pretty bad.
Pretty bad as in, like, there's going to be trouble, or?
Pretty bad as in there's going to be trouble, and I don't understand, like, he keeps saying they've got all kinds of evidence, and then it's like, all right, well, what evidence do you have? It's like, no, you have to find it and tell me what it is. And they're just like, what?
Who has to find it?
The Secretary
Literally anyone.
of State of Georgia.
No.
Sounds.
I don't know. I would be very surprised at this point. I feel like almost everybody's given up at this point, right?
He hasn't. There are a lot of people in jail for a lot less political crimes, so I don't know, whatever.
I wonder. I don't know if Trump's this smart. He might be. He definitely has a good head for like PR and stuff. But what if this is just a big buildup to go into his new media empire with a lot of like heat?
On the sound call or on the call, it just sounded like he was kind of an angry child. Like it was like, what do you mean I can't have 2 cookies?
Sir, there are people starving.
I don't know how you would make him not aware of it, but if somehow he'd never heard of it and you could set it up believably, I would love to see Trump get the marshmallow test. Maybe you could do it a different way. You could do it where it's like, all right, Mr. Trump or Mr. President, you could call and get this New York Times reporter demoted right now, but if we wait a week, we could get her fired.
Just the version of that. I don't know if there's stuff to back up the call, then there's stuff that needs to be looked at. But it just sounds like craziness.
Wendell's a bit quiet. I think we had this problem last week. Wendell, your OBS mic audio is too low.
No, I drift away from the microphone, and then it's like, not a thing. Oh, it's too low. Well, I guess that worked. I don't know.
Trump could run again in 4 years. I wonder, would the Republican Party ever give him another nomination?
I think they would. Yeah, it's chaotic, but like the people love him.
Who do they have in the chamber? Who's their next guy? Are we gonna fuck around and try to do another Bush? Is that where we're going with them?
Did you see McConnell's house was vandalized?
Yeah.
Pelosi too.
Yeah.
It was like
Couldn't happen to a sweeter gentleman.
It's like, Mitch, where's my money?
But it was spelled wrong, which
Yeah.
made it funnier. Pelosi's was a little darker. I think they put a pig head in her driveway.
That is darker.
I never really appreciated playing this game first person, like because you're looking too much at what you're focusing on. The Night City's roads are incredible. They're in really good shape.
Well, they've been patched, you can tell.
Yeah, but look at that, almost like a mirror shine.
Yeah.
And there's no big potholes or anything.
Were there potholes in GTA? I don't remember that being a thing. That'd be a cool feature to add to a game like this.
It'd be a cool feature that was super annoying and like messed your car up when you hit them. But then there could be a subplot where you become a politician and you could choose to, like, you know, give more money to the city and it makes it better. Are those robots?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever encountered them.
Is that a corpo area? They can afford robots.
Whoops. Oh, I've got the wrong kind of grenade. That's an oops.
Are you just smoking them?
Flashbang.
Biden's approval rate will start at negative 25%. How would that be if
What's that debuff?
half the country's for him? You're not gonna. The left is at least as, I would say they're more invested in like Biden can do no wrong than the Trump people were that Trump could do no wrong.
I don't know. I've
Although
already seen some
saw-
people bitching about him already, so.
I saw an opinion piece on The Hill. Somebody Google this. I mean, I could because I'm not even playing a game, but I don't want to. The Hill ran an opinion piece that said, "Is it okay for us to start talking about President Harris yet?" And he questioned Biden's mental capacity. You know, the old everything everybody predicted would happen. They're floating the balloon.
Listen, all I want to do is buy a house.
Yay!
As you step through a puddle of that man's blood.
Well,
Yay!
the NCPD was like, "Hey, figure this out." I was like, "Okay." Hee.
I love how there was. I mean, maybe you did this before the storyline. We know we pick up with the storyline, but when did he go through any sort of registration process to become this vigilante? How do they know where to send the payments?
Krista, I found a house that I wanted you to look at, or I just wanted the chat to hear your reaction to the house.
We actually looked at 2 this weekend, and we started the offer process on 1.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and drop that one in the chat. We got to take a look.
I'm
at
not posting pictures of where I might live.
it. Not their chat. Not their chat.
Oh. I think I sent this one to you. It's like, it's slightly weird, which I like. My mom is calling it a Brady Bunch house. Oh, I sent a link earlier in our group chat.
Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
saw that. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, that's distressing.
Dark times.
Yeah, Jack Ma has disappeared.
Oh yeah, I did look at this one. Now this is really close to that other house, though, Krista.
What other house? Oh, it's not that bad when you go visit. And it's great because it backs up to woods.
But is it your woods? Because eventually that's going to be subdivision, if not.
That is, I know who owns it. I can't say because it'll give away where it is, but.
So we got like a split level kind of deal.
Yeah, but it's so the whole house, like the layout, is centered around the fireplace, and it's very, like, the pictures don't do it justice. When we went there, I was afraid I was gonna like it when we went there, but then when we went there, I was like, oh, I love it. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's a good thing, but
It's several dollars.
it is several dollars. We're haggling right now.
2,000 square. That's pretty big.
It has here's the kicker, chat. It has fiber internet.
That's impressive.
Holy hell, yeah.
How insulting is it that that town gets fiber internet and I don't?
Yeah, it is very insulting. We were amazed. My husband immediately started looking up prices. He was like, "Oh hell yeah," because that'll be better internet than what we have now, and we live in a bigger city now.
Oh, well, this is ridiculous.
It's also as is, which is crazy, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Is this the Victorian? Where is this?
Oh wow, the flooring in this.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
the
in New
pink
Jersey.
room. Krista, the pink room.
Yeah, it's in New Jersey, but it's like, it's just unbelievable. I mean, like,
This reminds me of your house before you guys renovated it.
if we were going to have like a YouTube grotto with 8 bedrooms, like that would be the perfect thing to do.
Honestly, it's not in bad shape. I mean, it's definitely a look, but
Look, the library and like the rooms with the wood grain looks like the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it would be an incredible backdrop for a bunch of videos, but then it would be old in about a year or two.
did you post a link in the chat to the Victorian?
No.
I'll post that one. So they can also look at it.
They don't have any pictures of it because I figure it's in disrepair, but it also has a lead glass garden, like one of those like miniature greenhouses, but it's only like 8x10 or something real small like that.
Listen, I already got plans for greenhouses. This is a cool house. I mean, it's outrageously expensive and it's very large, but
Have you looked into the restrictions on that land?
Yeah, if you're going to use it for commercial, you have to apply, but I feel like that they would probably permit YouTubering.
I'm not talking about the New Jersey man. In what world do you think we could utilize a house in New Jersey?
Yeah.
listen, it'd be our summer home.
We're gonna Jersey Shore it every summer.
We could get a lot of the up and coming like gamer e-girls and just move them all in there. And just hope.
Oh, now you're trying to take my plan of harvesting strippers and putting them in an e-girl type of situation.
I wasn't
Buy
thinking
it for a new set.
I was actually thinking of like that house would be the perfect house to implement the jail plan. Remember we talked about the jail plan? Like we could turn the compound into a thing. That would be the great starter house for that.
How many acres is this on? Does it say?
It's right in town. If you look at it, it's only a couple of hours from the airport, and it's very near Philadelphia. So it's surprisingly urban for as much land as it has.
But you know, for $500,000, you can just grab one of those Canadian shale operations that's gone bankrupt. Could literally have a compound.
It doesn't say how many acres it's on.
Probably not many in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's not huge. If you look at the satellite photo, you can see it pretty clearly. Oh yeah, I was doing something here. I forgot.
Never thought YouTube and Twitch pays off that well.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I mean, well,
no.
for some people, I'm sure it does.
No, that's
Level
why
1 Tech is not buying a $500,000 Victorian in New Jersey. We're not that rich.
yeah, no. But also, you know, that for like the e-girl plan, whatever, blah blah blah. But for like video backdrops, I mean, it would just be incredible.
I don't think people give a shit about the video backdrops.
Yeah, I mean, we could just green screen it and it'd be fine.
Speaking of people making money on YouTube, have you guys ever heard of the Saran Wrap game for New Year's?
What is
No?
that?
So they did this with the Pakistani reaction people, and that is such a fantastic video because, you know, this is grown men, probably like in their 40s or later, and they are just giggling and squealing like schoolgirls. So they took like candy and treats and shit, because, you know, it's all about like food on that channel, and they go crazy for Western food. It's like, and then they take it home, give it to their kids, and everybody loves them. So they took stuff like that, but also money and some other small items, and you start you just you start with one item and you wrap it in saran wrap, and then you like layer on more and then add more saran wrap. So you have a giant ball that's many, many, many layers of saran wrap. And then you roll dice, and the first person to get a pair starts unrolling. And whatever comes out, you keep. And the other person is constantly rolling dice. And when they get a pair, they get the ball.
Oh.
But Tribal People Try, I think is the name of the channel. You got to watch the saran wrapper one. But here's the crazy thing about it. And I tried to look up their local currency. So at one point, there's some cash in there. And at one point, one guy goes, I got 1,200. I'm rich. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what the local currency is. It's the Pakistani rupee. 1,200 Pakistani rupees, $7.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Maybe their stimulus check was 1,200 Pakistani rupees.
Girlfriend's family does that every year. Yeah, they presented it as if it was a well-known thing. I've never heard of it.
Yo, hello, Moto.
But the other great thing about the Pakistani guys, they're obviously making money from that whole endeavor because they get a lot of views. And their clothes just keep getting nicer and nicer.
Oh, that's not a thing I can hack. That's not cool.
Well, I gotta get in the merch game next. Store.level1x.com. What are other stores you'd see in a city? Like, I keep thinking about how weird it is that there aren't grocery stores here. Are there gas stations? I don't know if I've seen a gas station.
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever seen one.
There is one. There's a mission at one.
Honestly, I don't spend a lot of time like looking at the businesses and stuff, so there might be a lot of that stuff.
That's one of the things that makes it feel like more lived in.
I'm sure they had to cut some corners. It was probably, they had all that stuff on the drawing board in the beginning. And as reality set in.
Yeah, the dark reality of working 60-hour weeks for 10 years.
What is the strategy here?
I can't carry this gun with me, so.
Oh, you're just using the bullets.
But the bullets are universal.
No, not for this gun.
Do they use gas in 2077? The cars certainly sound like gas, but maybe it's one of those Tesla things where they're just making noises, making sound effects.
No, they're pumping oil. There's oil fields that they refer to as oil fields.
Where does it go? It's a video game? Listen, it used to bother me in Skyrim too because so you could grow wheat in like the fields outside of cities, but they were like always very tiny patches, and I was like, how are they ever going to get enough flour to feed this city? And the answer is they can't. So there should be more farms, but there are never more than like 2 or 3 farms outside of a city, and they're all really tiny. They're more like urban farms than actual like dedicated farms. The Jarls need to get their shit together.
That was one thing Star Trek got right, is like the hydroponic, vertical gardening, whatever, was like, oh, we're gonna feed all 1,000 people on this ship from like 1.5 cargo bays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do have the replicator.
Well, the replicator, I mean, yeah, they got kind of fast and loose with that, but in the original canon, it was a combination of like matter energy conversion, but also like it would cheat. Like it would just shuffle matter around and give you something that looked like what you thought you were eating and tasted like what you thought you were eating, but was not really quite the same. Like for steak, they weren't replicating like dead meat. They were just taking like a paste and making it, the same consistency and flavor as steak, but it was not actually steak.
Magic and Skyrim shit grows better. That would actually be an interesting skill tree for the next Elder Scrolls game when it never happens. To have like perks where food fills you up more, or like maybe you have a gardening perk where you get better at growing stuff grows faster. Like what's the game that we just played? 7 Days to Die, where like you could get all those gardening and food perks.
They just updated that.
Did they? What did they add? I'll look
I
it
don't
up.
know. There was a big December update.
I almost wrote Daisy and then I was like, that's not right.
Focus.
News. Guess that would be news. When did they release that big update? Oh, I guess never mind. There's only one.
Where's everybody?
Wandering horde zombies are not alert, so stealth attacks work on them. Wandering horde 1 second delay between spawns. It looks like it's mostly just like optimizations and bug fixes.
Is Wandering Horde the 7-day horde, or is that something new?
No, that was the thing. We used to run into that sometimes, where like we'd be hanging out at home and then like a bunch of zombies would walk out of the lake. I think that's probably what that is.
How do you think a Wandering Horde gets started? Is there one zombie who starts like,
Hey guys, you want to go get brunch? Yeah, that sounds good.
he sends out a mass text?
Yeah. Who's down? Who wants to go to Waffle Hut later? I miss Waffle House. Think about it a lot.
Well, the cockroaches did not waste any time starting on that body.
Ugh.
What's up, lady?
I don't know, for some reason, Chris, I thought you were anti-Waffle House.
No, I like Waffle House. Love Waffle House.
What's
Cool.
your, now you generally have a very unique order that you go to with restaurants. What is your Waffle House order?
It depends. I like their biscuit and gravy. And I also like they make a chocolate chip waffle, but it's not on the menu, you have to ask for it.
Nothing like ordering something that's not on the menu that's going to annoy the guy behind the grill who has love and hate tattooed on his knuckles.
All they do is just
Hey.
throw chocolate chips on top of it.
Listen.
But he's got to dig out the chocolate chips.
Takes literal seconds.
And
He just spits in my food while I watch him. He makes eye contact.
He had just emptied the chocolate chips last night to use the container for his meth cook.
That's something that's interesting. I didn't realize. So, like, they have the disclosure form they give you when you go look at houses. Kentucky requires a meth disclosure form. And I was like, oh,
yeah, if
that's
it was ever,
interesting.
because that will fuck a house up badly.
I mean, that makes sense to me, but it's sad and also sort of hilarious that there's like a whole section on the forum just about like, was this used as a meth house? Check yes or no. That was definitely the weirdest thing that I saw. I was like, what a weird thing you have to mention. I mean,
Well, you got to
it
think
makes
that
sense.
something like 95% of meth labs end up in foreclosure, right? I mean,
Right.
that story's got to end that way more often than not.
So the other house that we looked at this weekend, we had high hopes for. It was actually like a log cabin. And we were really excited to go look at it. It was kind of pricey. We were like, maybe it's all right. But oh my gosh. It was ridiculous. Like they didn't even like recock the shower. The trim was not polished. Like it hadn't been like stained or anything. There were gaps in all of the trim and in the drywall. I was like, what the hell did they think was going to happen here? It'll probably sell sometime this week for like exactly what they asked for, but
It could be old people who just can't do it.
maybe. They also had this like weird material on some of the walls. I couldn't tell what it was in the pictures when we got there though. I was like, It's like they put. It was like this dimpled red metallic-y plastic stuff, like a sheeting, and they had just plastered it all over one of the walls of the cabin. Utterly bizarre.
So, did you investigate when you got there? What was it?
I still don't know. It kind of looks like, you know, that like metal tile that people put on ceilings or on backsplashes sometimes. It was like that, but uglier. And I was like, why would you cover a whole wall in this?
Maybe it's like a heat retention type of deal.
Oh, now, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was so strange. But they wanted so much for it. I was like, but why? They'll place it on the market for a while. What was sad was like the land around it was incredible. The master bedroom overlooked a little creek in a wooded area.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like you've ever been in a permanent state of buying it. We've looked at a lot of houses. We've looked at a lot of houses. This is the first one we've tried putting an offer in on. Not the cabin I'm describing, but...
What's a package of this, the Maruchan ramen noodle? Are those still 20 cents? Are they a quarter now?
Better investigate. Last warning.
I think they might be a quarter.
So, I bought this naked noodle ramen, $1.20. So we're talking about, you know, 5 times more expensive. And I was like, I can't wait to find out what this pimp fucking ramen noodles taste like. Worst ramen noodles I've ever had in my life. They're tasteless. They're boring. There's something like grainy.
Not even
shit
salt.
in there. It's not very salty, no.
That's weird.
It's supposed to be. What flavor is this? Chinese chow mein.
I bet it didn't
What?
taste anything like that.
No, just terrible. Sounds expensive for noodles. That's what I thought. I thought, man, these are going to be some amazing noodles.
Amazing, yeah.
Where do they get the balls charging 5 times the market rate?
Move, move, move.
I can't even find the texture that I'm describing right now.
What is chow mein? Chow mein? You don't know chow mein?
That's it. That's like a noodle.
I think chow mein just stands for like bowl of garbage or something like that, or everything bowl or something like that. It's supposed to be like you save up stuff and then you cook it all in one big hodgepodge with noodles. I think that's the one of those dishes is like that. Maybe I'm thinking of Goo Goo Gai Pan.
This is very bad.
Oh, chop suey is on. Alright. Well, whatever.
Soldier KIA.
Find an international market. I don't eat a lot of ramen. I'm not a big ramen eater.
There also aren't a lot of international markets around here, believe it or not.
We got some Spanish ones. I don't know if we have Chinese ones.
I don't think we have any Asian markets here. Maybe in like the big city. Well, that's like an all-day trip if you go there.
I've always wondered if the Spanish markets have really good deals. Although I'm a little bit concerned about, like, I imagine it's all in Spanish and you really don't know what you're getting.
Pollo's chicken.
Well, you know,
Carne's beef. That's all you need to know.
I think I could identify a chicken.
Or it might be chicken flavor. Something. I live on the edge of civilization in Midwestern Iowa. We have 3 international markets within 40 minutes.
The
Spanish markets aren't as
people?
hard to find, but like anything else, pretty rare.
When
You
you
just kind
say
of have to go to the
Spanish-
international aisle at like a normal grocery store.
when you say Spanish people, I'm not talking about people from Spain. I'm talking about people who speak Spanish. But yeah, we got. Listen, it's a small town. Is just the most fertile ground in the world for a Mexican restaurant.
That's true.
And if you think I'm embellishing there, how many Mexican restaurants do we have? And there's one under construction right now.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what new restaurant are we getting? Oh, another Mexican restaurant.
So we've got what, 6? And I'm not counting Taco Bell or Qdoba.
Yeah, it's like 6. 6 with the same menu.
Yeah, literally.
Why do Americans love Mexican food so much? Because it's delicious.
Cheap and delicious.
Yeah. It's very cheesy. That's like the more, I imagine, if you actually go to Mexico, that they probably don't serve quite as much cheese on all their food. That might be an Americanization, but damn, it's delicious.
And I mean, I love breadsticks, don't get me wrong. But chips and salsa as the starter is just, it's such a strong play.
We got takeout this weekend, and I was like, oh, I forgot about chips and salsa. It's so good.
Wendell, is your character purposely Western themed?
No.
Is he wearing like
It just
jeans and
happened.
it looks very wet. It looks like you
Yeah.
planned that.
No, those are the best things that I have found so far. So I don't know.
It usually takes a minute to show up after
Oh, I got a belt. I got a leather belt. A legendary leather belt. Oh, you can't wear that though.
That's Tex-Mex. They definitely Americanized the menu, but the people working there are not Texans. I guarantee you.
It makes me want chips and salsa. I don't think we have any salsa though.
And I bet if you told your waiter, you'd just be like, listen, I don't make me something authentic. They would probably come out with something that would blow your mind in terms of spices.
Oh no, I went to Taco Bell in Barcelona. No, Taco Bell is not like, it's fine when you're craving something late at night, but like Taco Bell is not a good representation of Mexican food at all.
No, these are not chain restaurants. These are just
Like mom and pop places.
yeah,
And they're everywhere.
enterprising guys with access to a lot of cheap labor moved in and gained a foothold and then just started moving in family members and expanding the restaurant empire. Brilliant move.
Cuban food is amazing. I went to a Cuban restaurant once. They served sweet potato fries with honey, and that was very, very good.
Yeah, Cuban food's not bad. It's weird. Like if you look at the different the types of Chinese food, like Szechuan and what are the other ones? Anyway, they're all unique, but I feel like there's so much less diversity in that giant landmass of China than there is in South America. Because
I
all
think
the South American countries have really unique.
I think China's probably like that as well, but we don't get to taste that here. Like all of their food is very heavily Americanized as well.
No, I'm not talking about what we get. It just seems like, it's not as different. Those recipes for the different kinds, because there are those fusion places that'll serve all the different ones.
That's true. I love sushi, and I haven't had it in a while.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
love
does sound
sushi.
good.
Yeah.
They I don't know why the Pakistani people, whatever fish is local to them is the only one they ever get, and it's got bones in it. So when they talk about fish, they're like, "There's fuck fish. I don't eat bones." because apparently there's like thousands of little tiny bones in those fish, and it just blew their mind when they fought. They gave them like a like a Long John Silver type
Yeah.
deep fried piece of fish, and that they couldn't believe it.
Salmon's so good too. There's a lot of good fish.
And I never thought about this, but again, something that we absolutely take for granted. None of them had ever seen it. They didn't know what it was, and it blew their goddamn minds. Was Jello.
Oh, that makes sense to me.
Why?
Because it's so unnatural, and like if it doesn't get carried at your grocery store, you're never going to be exposed to it.
No,
They were like, "Is this a liquid or?"
They had Jello in the 1800s. Gelatin, that was like an ingredient in some kind of dessert. It was like,
But it was considered like a high society dessert.
Your average Punjabi farmer is not aware of it.
So yeah, I watched part of a documentary about this. The one that was about the Tudors and sugar and then it went on forward in time. And it mentioned that gelatin started becoming really popular, I think in the Victorian age. And it was considered like, oh, you're fancy enough to be able to afford to make Jello for this, dinner party. And then everyone wanted Jello because they wanted to be fancy. And then the 60s happened, then everyone was like, oh, Jello's low class.
This one apple pie that we're going to share has the gelatin of 40 horses in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Western theme, I guess, looking at the motorcycle riding.
Their Jello, okay. I don't eat a lot of Jello, but this just seems wrong to me, and I don't know why this would be different in localized production. But their bright green Jello, what flavor would you expect?
Lime.
Banana.
Really?
Why? Because they normally eat bananas that are...
I don't know.
Yeah. If I get this house, I can put some pawpaws in the front yard. Think of all the stupid stuff I can grow.
I gotta figure out how to get more trees in my front yard. Or at least
What's that salad with Jello and whipped cream?
Oh, I've had that. I don't know what it's called. It's not very good. I don't like it.
Wait, are you going to plant trees in your new house?
Yeah, in a tree in the front, probably.
Are you going to do like a big tree or?
Well, I mean, I can't plant a big tree, but I hope it. Like I'm gonna
Like do a sapling.
Plant it with hopes that it will one day be a big tree. Do they make it any nice looking but fast growing big trees?
No, I also looked into that. I have a whole folder on my bookmarks about native trees to plant.
If you want a good tree, you're gonna take your time.
That's true. Don't buy a Bradford pear. They're terrible. They're very invasive.
As they say, do you know what the most delicious fruit is? It's the fruit of patience.
Oh.
Ain't none of that.
Pawpaws are just something you go out in the woods and find. You can cultivate them. You usually need to plant, like, I think they said 3 to 4 to get that good cross-pollination going.
Around here, it used to all be cherry trees and walnuts. Like, they actually cultivated those around here to grow that for food. And
Pawpaws and walnuts are they're good companions, actually. I was reading about that the other night.
Hey, here for a pickup.
Unlike chestnuts, who are just absolutely racist.
There's the Kentucky coffee tree that has those weird seed pods. I don't know if it's good for anything, but they're kind of rare. They're trying to get people to plant them. My granny had a couple in her yard. You could do a dogwood tree if you wanted something that's like medium size.
I thought about trying to plant one of those apple trees that are, rare but make delicious apples.
Like a Honeycrisp. I think Honeycrisp will grow here, like in our zone.
Oh, dude, do the Galaxy apples, the new one.
I wanted to do one of the old ones, but yeah, the Galaxy, those are delicious.
Galaxy Apple Zone 6. It's pulling up stuff about Samsung and Apple. It's not what I want.
Don't I already have Contagion?
Oh, Cosmic Crisp. Let's try that. Cosmic Crisp Zone 6 grow. Let's do some reading, chat. New red juicy apples, a perfect combination of sweetness and tartness. We cannot ship this tree to an address outside of Washington State. Well, rip.
Oh, you think that's some kind of like GMO type bullshit?
I bet it is.
Monsanto?
Patent control, yeah, probably.
Can't even leave the state.
I think
bet there's
Honeycrisp here, and Honeycrisp is good.
I bet those laws, I mean, they won't ever enforce it, but if they really wanted to, it's probably one of those things where, like, if a seed is in one of your tire treads, you're done.
Growing a Honeycrisp apple tree is the perfect challenge for a seasoned gardener located in a colder state.
Have you unlocked any new damage-inducing mind hacks?
What do you mean? Contagion's
Like,
pretty good.
Yeah, I saw Contagion. They have the Synapse Burnout, Overheat, and the standard issue one.
Short
I
circuit.
wondered how crazy they got.
Short circuit's good against robots or people that have a lot of augmentation. Now I need to find a junk shop because I need to buy some stuff so I can craft.
Well, you have a garden this year, absolutely. And if we get a house, I'll have a bigger garden. Do you guys get prolonged freezing temps? We're in zone 6, so it's like kind of mild, but we can dip down for extended periods during the winter,
yeah.
like January, February.
You could easily get a week. Like last year or the year before, we had just that brutal cold spell.
The cold snap, yeah.
Hey Ralph, do you know where they're selling system reset, or can I craft it? I can't craft it, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I need a crafting spec, or I need to go buy it.
Apples grow from seed, but they're not true to seed. The fuck does that mean?
Where do I get the spec then, Ralph?
You need to craft it. It's a legendary hack.
I think you have to have like a sapling to grow an apple.
A cutting.
Yeah.
So does that mean that the seed doesn't have the genetics?
Maybe it'll produce a tree, but maybe it won't produce fruit. I'm not sure. I've never grown one. We had a little tiny, like, sour green apple tree in my mom's yard, and we had a cherry tree as well.
When they're not true to seed, you'll get a crippled tree. That doesn't make any sense to me. What about Johnny Appleseed?
I saved a bunch of pepper seeds from our bell pepper plants last summer. I may have done that for no reason, but I thought I'd do an experiment to see if they actually grow. Zone 6, damn, you guys live in a freezer? That's like the extreme temps, I think, listed on there. It doesn't normally get super cold here most of the time.
Every now and then it does.
Yeah.
Glad you could clear your schedule.
Like this says, you know, extreme minimum temperature, -10. We almost never get that. We may get some days like in the zero or teens, but never below that. And it's usually not for more than a day or two.
What about Johnny Appleseed? Well, I have it on good authority that Johnny Appleseed grew apple trees from seeds.
I really would love a maple tree, but they take forever to grow. So I could tap it.
Mind if I just peruse?
If you're not gonna buy anything,
Does she have acne? Or is that just some sort of graphical glitch?
Mind if I just peruse?
if you're not
No,
Live in
that's,
zone 10. Oh, you're prime gardening area, MK Lumber. I'm learning more about apple trees than I've ever known tonight.
Isn't it crazy how something that you thought was a very basic concept and you had a pretty good grasp on turns out it's way more complicated.
Way complicated than you thought. Like everything I had read about any kind of fruit tree was like it's always easier just to get a sapling because that way you have a head start on production. But I didn't know it was this complicated.
But the feeling, that's what counts. Guy's hurt, got something he can't take. Could stand a little.
You really know how to give a guy. Is that how you got your start?
Don't make me laugh.
Get crab apples.
Being at the top.
Oh, listen, I don't know. I thought
But give up your idea.
Johnny Appleseed
All
was
right, princess.
running around planting apple trees from seed. How else is he going to do it? He doesn't have time for saplings.
Had an audience from.
He ain't drinking from no well locked in a factory.
No,
Jokes aside.
You know, Rain, great spot.
Why don't you go for a Japanese-inspired garden? Probably because Japanese stuff wouldn't grow well here. Krista, just
Pretty sure they
dig,
a great spot.
like layers, steps into your land, and do a quick rice paddy.
For the other.
Easy, yeah, simple. Don't have to worry about drainage at all.
Why we don't bring back fallen warriors. Sooner or later.
I wouldn't mind having like a little small like greenhouse, or maybe do raised beds with like row covers that we could do plastic over in the winter. So then we could have greens all winter.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, even I know that one.
Drainage, the stuff of Wendell's nightmares.
Sometimes wearing their shirt.
Yes.
Spends the whole time yakking with his psycho.
Poo cookies. I'm always gonna think of that now.
Find him.
You can find him living back in the 2020s.
Far behind. When you begin your
What's he say?
journey,
Can
send
ex-
the word space to 10
Brain.
casinos, 5 pools. If you're looking for a taste of paradise,
I heard.
What you mean?
Any samurai?
Yeah. Silver.
Blah 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 blah.
Are you okay? I think you're experiencing the same
Looking
glitch
for the real deal.
that I experienced before.
I'd say,
Oh, it's gone now. I was getting the
You have got no
visual
idea.
effects would never stop
Don't know how you found
after
out about
a
that
Johnny
food,
segment.
but
Oh
Well,
Oh,
I think maybe that's happening to you.
no.
yes, I'm watching it, and it's like,
I used to.
cut this.
Hey, appearances.
I'm just skipping the
All
dialogue.
right. Prove.
Okay, no, because you know how it gets all like blurry and you can't see the UI and
Kinda
stuff.
my dear expert.
I would get locked in that state. I would have to reload the game every time I would talk to Johnny.
Well,
Easy.
working as intended.
nope.
Have you taken Root to see a dog psychic yet? No, and I don't have any plans to.
What about Rue's paw? What are we doing
It
about
seems
that?
fine. I called the vet and asked about it, and they're like, if she's not really having any pain, like if you want, you can bring her in, but they're like, as long as she's not licking it anymore and like she's running around and she's acting normal.
You know what you could do?
probably
You could tie a piece of dental floss to it, and then
Just
when
pop
one of
it
the
off.
when the neighbor's dog is outside, just throw the door open.
Oh. No, she seems fine. She was excited today because she saw the neighbor's dog outside. We took a long walk on, I guess that was Friday. We took a super long walk and then we like passed out on the couch together, as is tradition.
Much appreciated.
Take it.
Cherry trees could indeed work.
Good silver hand word.
My mom had cherry in her yard, and we didn't do anything to it, and it always produced really well. The birds got to it more than we did, but I think my cousin over pruned it one year though, and now it's kind of dead. But
No, it changed.
I don't know if I'd use peaches enough. I guess cherries I probably wouldn't use a whole lot either. Peaches would be good though.
New gigs available.
Are there any old people in this universe? Or does everyone get plastic surgery?
Rogue is old.
Buy anything.
Rogue is the same age as Johnny, but it's like they did a really good job. She can't defeat the aging with all of the, cosmetics and everything, but she does a decent job.
Well, but even if all that stuff's available, you have to have money to do it, right? So like,
Well, she's the queen of the underworld, so yeah, she's
right. But are there other people who are just like presumably poor who still look old? Or is it so cheap that everyone just is like, ah, screw it, I'll pop in on my way to my work at the fast food restaurant and
I
get some
feel like
botox?
I've seen some older Asian people.
Oh yeah, there definitely has been. Yeah.
You wish to become a Ronin, but there is still one thing.
I don't see any random old people walking around.
But what's his name? Osaka, he was old.
Oh, it's true. The guy at the beginning at like the cutscene. Is that who you're talking about? I don't remember.
The guy who runs the big corporation. I saw another picture of the Google News. I guess it's because I click on them. But Google News is also convinced that I need to know everything about Elizabeth Hurley. But she's another one of these British girls. I don't know. There's some magical clinic or something over there where they stop aging.
I don't know who this is.
Who is?
Elizabeth Hurley.
You never seen Austin Powers?
Is that what she's from? I've never
she's
seen her in
been
anything else.
She's been in a lot of shit. She was in a bunch of those romantic comedies with that one guy who's really annoying, that British guy.
I don't really recognize her. When you said Austin Powers, I was like, oh, I think I remember her, but
She's 57? Well, I thought early 50s. 57 is astonishing. And if you look at a picture of her when she was young, that nose has gotten really big. But still, she's got to be better looking than 50% of girls half her age.
does she have eyeliner tattooed on? Oh no, there's a picture of her. I found one without makeup.
How's that?
She looks... Is that who that is? I don't know her face that well. But there's pictures of her. If you Google it. Most of the time she's wearing sunglasses without... Someone did a Photoshop with her with no eyebrows. But she always has like the really heavy eyeliner on, so I'm trying to find a picture of her without.
Well, listen, I'm sure that she is pulling out all the stops. There's probably at least 5 people responsible for making her look like those Instagram photos. But still. Nilfgaard. Why is that so funny? Does she have kids? I wonder what it's like. Because if we're not there already, I mean, these girls are huge movie stars, so they might not have kids. But we're going to get to a point where, grandma is on Instagram and a pair of Daisy Dukes. That's going to be weird.
Here's the other dark side of that coin, in terms of like people photoshopping themselves to death. I see people post pictures of their kids that have been face-tuned.
Yeah, well,
that's
not surprising.
That is sad.
They've gotten so good now that they can do like real-time cartoon animal head replacement in like based on your facial expressions. It's crazy. It's shocking. It's really good.
To be honest, like if that sort of tech had existed in a easy and reliable form when we started level 1, I would have been fine just like having a cat face.
Okay, I'll match it. You good?
All good. Let's go.
Well, this is probably not going to end well.
No pulling any mono wires.
Grandma on Yeah, you got to think a lot of these OnlyFans girls are gonna have grandchildren at some point.
I fast, because the last guy I fought tried to surprise me with long spurs. Anyway, you ready to start?
Oh, quick evening update from Chris Bailey. Let's see what he says.
Careful now. I don't fuck around.
This is what,
In Alaska, we have generational strippers. That's hilarious.
This is a short generations, probably.
Oh wow.
Oh
he
man, I
won
got
it.
the.
Think you had enough,
If you
eh?
get the gorilla arms, it makes these real easy.
Yeah, I think I'll wait. I've got a little bit of money. I could maybe afford some of the arms.
Just walk into a doctor's office. Hi, I'd like grill arms, please.
You can drop a melee weapon before the match starts. That's cheating.
That's fun. What an
Chinese
amazing
grandma
bug.
that was running a face. Oh, you remember her? I don't know if she was a grandma, but she convinced everybody she was super young because she was using the filters and she had a ton of followers. And then one day the filter was off.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oops.
I think she had to like go into hiding.
How many people do you think like, oh, you got hit by a car? How many think messaged her and was like, you're an old soul? And, like, you know, trying to like hit on her and stuff, and she's like, oh, if only you knew.
Or she pulls out some weird old reference. I remember talking to him on a payphone.
So I went down to Blockbuster Video and I rented a video game for my PS1.
I mean VR headset.
That can't be right. There's no thingy over there. That seems.
What's the cheapest you remember payphones being? I've only ever seen them a quarter, I think.
Even, I'll be honest, by the time I was even just like growing up as a teenager, I didn't know anyone who'd ever used a payphone.
There was this payphone in our hometown, and it was next to the grocery store that everybody went to. But in a town like that, almost nobody ever used the payphone because it was just everybody drove and it just was never used. So it was well known that payphone was where you went if you were cheating. Because
Oh,
obviously, And I remember one day, Dad had to use it for some reason. I think maybe something was wrong with his car or something, so he had to call us from there. And before we resolved whatever his issue was and like went and got him and fixed the car, 3 other women had called my mom. And they were like, "Is everything okay?"
some harlot picked him up off the street. Look at the car. And then it's just her. Yeah, I never used a payphone. That was not a thing. Like, my high school didn't have payphones. There weren't payphones at, like, the grocery store or anything. They're relics from a different age. Did you know anyone who had a pager?
Oh yeah, listen, dude.
I don't know that I did.
There were no mobile phones until like they didn't really start getting popular in our area till the last couple years of high school.
Real upset the neighbors leaving.
Even then, they were fairly rare.
Oh,
But yeah,
Um,
a lot of people had pagers.
My dad had a car phone when I was a kid. But it was like, one of those giant things. That was considered very cool at the time. I remember him being very excited about it.
One of my summer jobs, I worked at a like state government type situation. It's where it was the people that will come and take your kids if you fuck up your kids. And the woman who ran that place lived like 2 towns over, and every day she commuted 2 hours each way on a car phone, doing work the entire time on a car phone, and the bill was like $300 a month.
Wow.
And everybody was like, "Why don't you just move closer to your job?" And she was like, "Well, I like living there."
I don't ever get to go there, but
Working for the government? Well, yeah, I mean, it was just a college job, summer job. Yeah. My job was to shred papers most of the time, and unless somebody's computer broke. But they had another guy there that was the IT guy, and he was very territorial. But the only thing he ever wanted to do was just re-image the hard drive. Like, no matter what was wrong, it's like, oh, hey, this, it's overheating. We need to replace this fan. He's like, I'm going to re-image the hard drive. But while I was shredding, I would look at some of those reports, and Jesus Christ, there's one that like really stood out with me. And they had taken pictures, and they had written a description, and the picture was a family sitting on this couch that, you know, that like spongy, artificial yellow stuffing that old couches used to have?
Oh yeah, it's like
That's still a thing, right? Yeah.
It was worn down to that. So it was just like raw, whatever that was. It looked kind of wet. And this family's sitting on it, and everybody in the family is wearing a coat, except the baby, who was wearing nothing but a diaper.
Oh.
And it's like, what? How do you... when you're putting your coat on, how does that not trigger something?
Of course.
And then there was another picture where the social worker broke the layer of ice on the kids' Cheerios that were sitting on the kitchen table.
Oh wow.
That is grim. How many strikes do you have to get as a parent? Like, I mean, on one hand, it's like it's good because you don't want the state just randomly taking people's kids over possible misunderstandings. But I mean, how many times before it's like, okay, maybe this isn't working out?
Yeah, well, they definitely there was a whole like very specific protocol they had to follow. I don't know the answer to that question, and even then you couldn't just go get them. You had to schedule that with the cops because they would try to kill you. And there was only two other males that worked there, but they weren't always there. So anytime something had to be carried or whatever, I had to do it. And I was like, what kind of fucking, bullshit is this? This is discrimination. And the other thing they trained me for, even though I shouldn't have been involved with it because I was just like a part-time, like intern employee, was the red folder and the blue folder. So if they got on the intercom and they asked for the blue folder, that meant call the cops. And if they asked for the red folder, that meant like come and help me.
Oh. It's sad that you have to think of like code words like that, but it's smart. You don't want the state taking random kids, but the state should totally... Well, listen, there are sometimes scenarios where people are abusive to their children where they need to be removed. But like, how do you draw that line? I wouldn't want to be in charge of that personally, but...
Oh, it looked like a miserable job.
Yeah. Well, one of my cousins is a social worker, and she's told me stories, and I'm just like, I don't know how you deal with that mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not for the state having that kind of power, obviously, but then again, that kid had a bowl of frozen Cheerios and milk and no clothing of any kind.
Why is mods unavailable for ARMS? Do I have to get that one guy to install? Oh.
I never experienced that. Oh, street cred.
Oh, do you need more cred?
25 street cred.
It's got to do those cop missions. Kill those organized crime members.
8 cool. Why do I have 2 of that one? Can't do any of this thing.
State doing bad things to kids? What are they doing? Trying to get them out of home that they're likely to die in. I mean, look, it's a sticky situation. I'm not trying to tell you that how to do it. If I were in charge, I would just, whenever something like that came up, I would just kill everybody involved.
Oh yeah, I can't do double jump.
Yeah, I mean, like, just some of the stories I've heard, it's like one of the kids in foster care, someone I knew who was a foster parent, they were taking care of a baby, and the baby had a broken leg and a cast, and she asked the social worker who dropped the kid off and was like, how did this happen? What do we need to do for doctor's appointments, all that? And they're like, well, a baby's bone doesn't break like this unless there was force applied, was basically what was implied. So, kids like that, they need to be removed and put in a safe spot. But like, God, that's, there are other cases that aren't so cut and dry, and like, I don't know, it's a whole mess.
You don't think that baby was maybe doing some like extreme skating?
Maybe,
Some rock climbing?
It's like a baby yoga sizing, and then something went wrong.
So something went horrendously wrong.
Oh man, you say baby yoga. I caught up on The Mandalorian, except for the last episode. Don't spoiler. I hate that they gave him a name, and the name is so stupid.
Oh, it's something with a G, right?
Grogu.
I saw it on, Grogu. Yeah, I don't love it. It doesn't have the same ring as Baby Yoda.
Also, wasn't Boba Fett kind of slender in the original?
Yeah.
I remember him being kind of like a small guy. The one in Mandalorian, he's a little too beefy. He's too big.
Is Mandalorian one of the ones where they were like, oh, we ran out of Stormtrooper costumes, and then they just did a call for cosplayers and people that have their own Stormtrooper costumes to come be extras?
Wow, how did you not take fall damage there?
I landed on that.
I don't have a lot of Mandalorian lore. Although Captain Doomcock, the guy who reported all the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, he is now also reporting that that guy is so much trouble on the set that they're thinking about phasing him out for Boba Fett.
Wow. Man, that ping was kind of expensive.
How many plushies do you think they've sold of the Baby Yoda?
There's a factory in China that like they've been going around the clock since it premiered.
My fingers are bleeding.
Oops.
Is Mando after the fall of the Empire? Yes. And they did a pretty good job in the beginning. I think they've kind of given up on this a little bit because of, Moff Gideon is like, they've established that he's definitely Empire and kind of like bringing it back. But in the beginning, the Stormtroopers were always like dirty because the Empire had fallen. Their clean white suits were no longer clean.
Gosh, it's taking forever for my RAM to recharge. Alright, let's see. Okay,
Something about Star Wars occurred to me recently. And I wonder if somebody in the chat knows enough Star Wars lore. Or maybe this is common knowledge. Maybe I'm just not thinking it through, but in the prequels, Anakin Skywalker breaks the rules of the Jedi Council to go and save his mom, who's been abducted by Tusken Raiders, right?
Uh-huh.
And when he gets there, he goes to that fly creature who he believes still owns his mother as a slave. So in the like 15 to 20 year interim period between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, Anakin didn't once pull one of the Jedis aside and be like, hey, listen, I know we got these rules and everything, but my mother is a slave. I don't even have to go. I can stay here and train. Can we just send somebody? Can we Venmo the fly creature a couple of bucks?
Can we send a Mandalorian?
I mean, it's like he didn't even think about it. Was it 15 years? I don't know what the canon is, but he was a very young boy, like 5 or 6 year old in the first one, and then he's a young man, so it's around that.
You know what I like? I like getting drinks like that and then scrapping them for components. And then making shotguns out of the components. And then, selling the shotguns for money.
Did you say drink?
Yeah.
Like a vending machine drink? I wasn't watching.
Yeah, yeah. So check it out. Crafting, or I'm sorry, backpack, and then random consumable. It's like, oh, here's some stout. 6 common components and 3 uncommon components. Ta-da!
Can you imagine what it would do for the recycling community if all drink cans could be turned into shotguns?
That would be amazing.
Maybe I wouldn't need to get a soda stream.
What would the what do you call it when you get the money back for taking the cans back in?
Is that just like a recycling program?
There's a name for the amount of money that they levy on those.
Oh, the deposit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I can even real water still, but I can still turn it into components. That's weird. That's got to be a bug, right?
Why did Mace? Listen, guys, there's a lot of plot holes in those Star Wars movies, I know, but that one just seemed really egregious. I'd never considered it. She was a fucking slave. Is there any, like, think about, Krista, the most prestigious art education that you could get, and they're like, listen, it's free.
Of was it? I want to be a phoenix.
You're gonna get placed after this, and your job is gonna be whatever, art that you want to go into. You're guaranteed, but you can't have any contact with your mom anymore. And by the way, she's a slave.
I don't know if I'd make that trade personally, but I do value my freedom.
Now, to be fair, a good art education isn't quite on par with moving stuff around with your mind, but still.
Yeah, not worth it. Not a good trade for me. I'm gonna have to send a counter offer.
How much? Well, keep in mind that if you didn't go, you were going to continue to be a slave forever.
So wait, so I haven't watched any of the Mandalorians. I'm kind of lost a little bit reading through the chat. You would be free your mom as a slave? Yeah, but I value my mom, and I value my mom's freedom.
So here's the story. Wow, you've really never watched those, huh?
No, I've only seen, of the Star Wars movies, I've only seen A New Hope, I think.
So he and his mom are both slaves on this planet, Tatooine.
Right.
And he learns how to repair electronics, and so that's how he's useful. And
Right.
his mom is just a generalized servant for this fly creature. And he escapes because he's good at pod racing. And they come and get him. He's Anakin Skywalker. The Star Wars story takes him away from that planet.
Right.
And he starts having nightmares, which lead him to go back looking for her. But this is years later. He's a grown man at this point. And it turns out she's been abducted. But even if she hadn't been abducted, he knew she was a slave. And so during ever how many years that was, he went from like at least 6 years old to at least 18 or 19. And he's got access to starships easily. He's like, the Jedi Council's like, yeah, whatever you need. But he chose to never go back and unenslave his mother.
Also, like Padme, like, hey Padme, can you do this thing for me? Thanks.
Oh yeah, she's the fucking queen.
Yeah.
She was a 2-term queen during that time. He could have made one space phone call.
Hey, my mother's in slavery. Do you mind? Can you pull some strings on this planet to get her out?
His mom was freed by some guy he fell in love with, but he didn't know that. That's why he talks to the fly creature first. The fly creature tells him that his mom was purchased and was like freed and having a nice life. He finds out about his stepbrother during that trip. So he was living under the impression she was a slave.
Wait, so Anakin Skywalker has a stepbrother?
Yeah.
Fuck!
Who is that? I thought I
The
had most of my knowledge about the movies just from reading memes on the internet, but I'm kind of lost now.
So it turns out she wasn't a slave anymore. At some point during that time, pretty early on, a guy bought her and freed her and married her. So she'd been living in happiness and had a new family during that time, but the Tusken Raiders then abducted her.
Really want to find out? Think real hard now.
What you want, huh?
Slavery is okay in space, but no nepotism. Yeah, also freed her and married her. That does kind of seem like,
Well, okay, Krista, here's your choice. You can marry this guy who's like a good guy, and he's gonna free you from slavery, but you still probably have to marry him because you don't have any other choice. Or you could be a slave to a giant fly.
Well, listen here. Is the guy that good of a guy? If he has the power to free you and he's like, but you have to be my sex slave.
Yeah, well, yeah, he turns out to be a really good guy in the Star Wars timeline.
But she doesn't know that. The implication.
Well, maybe they didn't hitch up right away. Maybe he had her, working in the field.
Normally. Star Wars probably, in that universe, it would happen that way.
How about you come on out and let's talk?
Still a better love story than Twilight.
What happened to pod racing by the time Luke Skywalker was
No
around?
hard feelings.
Man, they could have technically still had it, right? He didn't live in the city center. He lived out in the moisture farm. Tattooing catalog brides.
I'm imagining pod racing went the way of like NASCAR here in the U.S. after Dale Earnhardt died.
Is NASCAR not strong anymore?
I don't know. I feel like it was ubiquitous when I was a kid. Like everyone loved NASCAR, but maybe that was just me living in the Eastern Kentucky bubble.
No. It's not as popular as it was. Certainly, it was the fastest growing sport for a couple of years there. Now, did the pandemic slow down NASCAR? I imagine it did.
I think they were able to do it like remotely, maybe.
Whoops.
Like, didn't they do like the remote cars?
I thought they were doing the video game. Wait a minute. Are you saying piloting the NASCARs remotely?
Whoops, I muted myself. No, like I'm saying, like they had didn't they do like the race wheel? I thought we did a story about that on the news.
No, you mean they were doing the online game? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were doing. I don't get the appeal of NASCAR except for the crashes. I mean, it's terrible, but same.
It's impressive, you know. I mean, if you were standing there and they passed you, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? But after about the third pass, you'd probably be like, all right, what do they got to eat here? I don't see if people stay constantly engaged.
Yeah, engaged. Well, it's so there was like this white trash thing in the town I went to college in, and they would do like different, you know, drag races and stuff. And one of the events they would do from time to time was figure 8 school bus races. And the whole joy of that was like when one of them would accidentally swipe each other, and everyone in the crowd would be like, "Ooh!" It was very exciting. I don't know that they still do that anymore. I don't know that that place is still open.
Certainly not during the pandemic, or maybe so, because a lot of those little racetracks are like not even, you know, they probably don't even have any sort of regulations or licensing or anything. Those little dirt tracks.
People, I don't know, it was just like a hobbyist track, so like people would just buy these like junkers, and then they would like spray paint them and remove the seats, and like they'd all have like really ridiculous like things like skulls and stuff painted on them.
They've alluded to Baru finding Anakin's mother, introduced Baru's. I don't know who Baru is, but that doesn't change the fact that Anakin was living with the knowledge that his mother was a slave and doing nothing about it.
I can't. I'm sorry.
When his mother was free, why didn't she space call him? Well, she probably didn't know what had happened to him, right? How could she? She might, for all she knew, he was dead.
Put some heart into it. Kill.
Do you think he was enough of a celebrity? Did Google News give her alert?
There were cutouts of him in people's, you know, houses or whatever. His pod racing number was on people's, you know, posters and back of their jacket.
Well, that was when he was a kid, though. So she would have to know about the Jedi Anakin.
Oh. So again, you know, I'm a Star Wars noob here. Was like, did people know about Jedi? Were like Jedi like a police force, or was it more just like a secret order of people with crazy powers? Or
Yeah, they were. Yes, they were definitely police, but they were also like the defenders of the Republic, and the political turmoil around the Republic is the focal point. Like the Empire is the opposite of the Republic.
right. More like the UN. Okay, that was kind of the vibe I got. Like again, my entire absorption of Star Wars has just been through like memes and clips on YouTube. So it's very, very like loose. I've never watched it all the way through or taken that much interest in it.
They were kind of like the UN if one UN employee could kill an entire city, and did sometimes.
But did they give him a reason to kill the entire city?
Isn't there a theory that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord?
Yeah.
That's one of those astonishing ideas that somehow got through Hollywood. That's like, I would just love to see every part of that decision-making tree, because it's astonishing.
I don't think it was ever confirmed though, right? Like that was just an idea. Like someone put that together on like the fan forum.
No. Just the fact that he was in that movie is what I'm saying.
Oh. They probably were like, oh, we can sell plushies again.
What if is this guy like a million levels over you, or what?
Yeah, he's taking a lot of hits.
That's a shotgun too, right?
Yep.
See, that really pulls me out of the game.
This should be good for at least 5 street cred. Come on.
Shoot.
Doesn't seem like she's dead.
Don't see the appeal of the space shenanigans. Space stuff is the frontier. It's the only frontier we got left. How does that not interest you? I'm thinking about getting that Squadrons game during the Epic sale. Anybody play that?
No.
When I was a kid, X-Wing and TIE Fighter were one of the earliest games I ever played. Wing Commander. I loved Wing Commander.
They released another trailer over the break for Sons of Forest, which I'm very excited about. No release date yet, though. Just 2021.
That's a nice car.
It's a little on fire for my taste.
That makes it go faster.
Oh. I've also discovered you can get free experience when you do things like this.
Used to play games on QBasic. Gorillas. Played a lot of Gorillas. Snake.
Drone just subscribed. Thank you.
Thanks, Biodrone. Alright, what else can I do to get some more street cred?
Just kill a man in cold blood on the street corner.
No, you're supposed to go in these places where the NCPD's like, we're not going in there, it's too dangerous, and then you can be like, alright, I'll do it.
Cut open one of their skulls and fill it with noodles and eat the noodles out of it. Everyone will be talking about that for months, and no one will ever mess with you.
I'm not sure they would in this city. 3D. Or is that Ed?
It could just be Ed.
Thanks. Thanks for subscribing with Twitch Prime. I hate that there's no fast travel beacons around here. Come on, car. Ugh.
Noodles are tasty. Not naked noodles. They're trash. Kill missions is pretty much the fastest way. I don't know what a kill mission is.
It's probably like an assassination, right?
I've only got the psycho killer job, and then everything else is fighting, which is what we're getting money to do. Go to Red's stash.
You get street cred by helping cops, just like in real life.
What's that, a 5.5 floppy of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Oh, that was the CGA, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I was never good at that game.
I never played it, but it was like, this is predated memes, I guess, but like I remember everyone always talking about it when I was a kid.
It required Jeopardy levels of trivial knowledge, but it was also like super dated. It was like, was Carmen Sandiego made in 1960s? It was like, the population of New York City is 3 million people, and it was like, I think that's off by a little.
Right.
Have you ever seen GeoGuessr? GeoGuessr is someone made a game, and you can do it head to head, or you can just do it for like, time, but it drops you in a random Google Map area, and just by traveling through the street view and looking at things, you have to try to figure out where you are in the world.
Oh, I've played that before. Did someone make that like an actual game? Because we used to just do that. Like, all right, how did we do that? Maybe we did it through a website. I don't remember.
It's called GeoGuessr.
Ah, I've played that before.
Thanks, B-Boy Nitrous.
Woo! Thank you. The thing that makes that pro tip, if you're like in a city, if you can find a sign that looks like an airport, that's usually an easier way to figure out where you are.
I don't have EA Game Pass, but it's the coupon. It's like I think it's like $12 or something. I got that flight stick at the office. I gotta remember to get that if I buy that game. Is this just higher res GTA? The combat's more satisfying and the map is bigger. There's more of a story, I guess. A better story.
Though they do call you just as much, from what I've heard.
You can cast spells. Yeah, the limo driver. For a while, I was just trying to do those missions to get him to leave me alone.
I really can't get over how, like, see, like, anytime I go somewhere, somebody calls and it's like, hey, I noticed you're in the area, and it's like, does everybody sell my personal data at this point?
That's not even the dystopian part of this. This is just normal now.
But how about the fact that, despite that, you spend a lot of the game hiding out from the most powerful corporation in the world, who has technology that nobody else even understands. But somehow, unlike the random limo driver, they can't find you.
All right, all these are skull people, so I probably don't even need to bother with stealth here. I mean, Jesus.
Did you miss that first shot?
I know, right?
10 shots, 1 kill.
I think this might be a little too heavy for you. I mean, where does all of that transfer of energy go when those pellets hit his chest? Because they're clearly not penetrating. But that's a lot of energy.
Oh wow, he's back up, and he's not hurt. Oops.
For a man not wearing a shirt, he takes a lot of bullets.
To the face, no less.
Come on. Chook, chook. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I think you have to let go of the overlay.
Do you? I thought this one of my things is like time is supposed to move more slowly or something.
When you dodge, right? Well, that is on fire, but he's tanking that as well.
Oh, come on. Jeez.
How is his clothing withstanding this?
You literally just threw a grenade on top of him, and he's taken like a gazillion bullets. And he's still got health.
Now, the game did warn you with the skull, but it's just like, come on.
It's absurd. Like, you just blasted his head off there. I don't understand. There he goes. Is he finally down, or is he still moving?
I've non-lethally taken him out.
I usually can take, you know, a dozen bullets to the face and no harm done.
I bet the cops are going to have a real tough time keeping him incarcerated.
Maybe he took some meth before you guys showed up.
Because, I mean, what's tasing going to do to that man?
Got it, country!
You just got him right in the crotch. Oh, and he like teleported there a little bit.
So that leads me to believe that, I mean, the guns, okay, I get it. You have a low-level gun, whatever. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but let's just say that's the case. But it must also mean that the grenades scale with your level?
Yeah.
Somehow you learn to pull the pin more effectively?
It's crazy that they're still, like, most of these guys are just non-lethally taken out. That's something.
We don't play nice, traitor scum.
Is the game generous with ammo? Because it seems like you would go through a lot.
You can craft
Sometimes.
it out of some pretty basic shit.
Uh,
And you can do that in combat. Was that guy just stuck there?
yeah, he wasn't moving.
No, I blinded them.
Oh, okay.
I feel like even if I were blind and someone was shooting me in the back with a shotgun, I would react somehow.
Like, oh, what is that crippling pain? Like nothing I've ever felt.
Why am I suddenly 3 feet forward and on my face?
Whoops.
Ooh. Man, you must be just like high as hell right now.
Your blood is mostly whatever's in those
The
injectors.
syringes.
Oh, I'm leaking like a sieve here, fellas. Meanwhile, we couldn't save Jackie on the intro.
Oh yeah, and you had those in the intro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot I had spells.
You got the disable. That'd be good because he's a net runner.
Who's the Union?
They're on the radio, like calling in backup, and they're like, "There's like this cowboy here. He shot one of our friends like 100 times in the face."
Carl, you're not gonna believe this. Magnum PI is here, and we just can't take him out. Yeah, all these weapons. I can't use any of these.
Is that street cred? I think you're playing this out of order in some weird way.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to get some street cred because I need some.
Oh,
stuff
you know,
so I can do the other.
do you understand like the missions? These kinds of missions are going to be way easier in the first city.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's probably
So
true.
you should finish all those first, because you'll still get street cred, and you won't have to do this.
I'll have to make my way back there after this one then.
But yeah, he sacks in the background 5 minutes ago.
Those gas grenades.
It's fort gas.
I gassed myself. Good job,
Played
me.
yourself.
Alright. Alright. Secure the area. Use of force is still permitted, so need to find some evidence. Oh, hey, guy.
After you've killed dozens of people, it's time to find some evidence of their wrongdoing.
Hey, listen, it's already basically that way with the election, right?
Huh.
You got to find evidence of their wrongdoing, which is presumably worse than serial murder.
Again, I think we're already in this future.
Didn't you watch Wonder Woman? I heard Wonder Woman 1984 was horrible. I have no intention of watching it, but I heard some people complaining about it online.
I have since watched it, and it wasn't great.
You like Slashers Keep? Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a quirky little guy, but the difficulty though, that second biome, I can't do it. That's one of those one-man games though. That's a very impressive one.
Now, did I find the evidence already? Yeah, it looks like I found the evidence already.
She's
Let's
not an
see
actor.
something
She's an SJW. Is Godot a social warrior?
The thing I was reading, so I'm subscribed to Out of the Loop on Reddit, and someone had made a post that was like, why are people upset about the Wonder Woman movie? And I guess one of the plot points, and this may be a spoiler, so close your ears, but like, she makes a wish that her boyfriend would be back, and like, her boyfriend's soul just gets put in someone else's body, and then she bangs that body.
Was it the?
It's kind of rapey, but
Is it the spy from the first movie?
I don't know.
Yes.
That I thought that was one of the weakest parts of the first movie. Is like all this girl power and this literal goddess, but the way that she like triggers her ultimate powers is because her feelings are hurt because he died.
That happens again.
What a bad take.
But if every other instance of Wonder Woman, she was like above it, she was all about just taking care of the planet and shit.
Dark future Wonder Woman. This is actually like 3 or 4 Wonder Woman movies from now. She's like, all right, if you want me to save Earth, you're gonna have to sacrifice a man. Like, what? He's like, yeah, we're gonna. There's gonna be a bloodletting on top of an Aztec temple. Come on, let's go.
I mean, that would be more interesting than what they gave us, at least from the sound of it.
I think that far in the future, we're more likely to get a storyline where she embarrasses the leaders of the world for their warmongering by making them suck her cock.
Yeah.
Dark.
I really think
She is
Go ahead.
She is the perfect physical manifestation of Wonder Woman, though. Like how she looks.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. I wonder if she did all her own stunts and stuff. Because if not,
No.
like, I mean, even just like the acrobatics she was doing on screen was just incredible. Like even like the not really stunty things, but just like the jumping around and stuff like that.
I think I saw a Reddit post of her standing next to her stunt double. It was also incredibly attractive, but slightly less so.
She has no muscle tone. That was also something. My memory of Wonder Woman, like in the comics, was big.
Oh yeah, she's supposed to be tall, like Amazonian tall.
Yeah. I want Zarya Wonder Woman.
Lord. All right. What are we looking at for missions now? Oh yeah. All right. Fast travel. So I got to fast travel to the original island, right? Which is like my mega building is right here. Yeah. All right. Oh, it's not double.
Vita Wonder Woman. Give the deepfakes a few more years.
Uh-huh. Why don't you fuck off, okay?
NCPD, open up.
Let's see if the gun guy's got anything interesting going on.
Hey, B! Haven't seen you in a good 1, 2, few weeks. Figured you'd skip town.
Just
In need of...
Oh,
Sure.
it's like he got really close to us for a second.
No, that's any good.
I just missed like 45 seconds if anybody tried to speak to me.
Was your oh, so what's your mic messed up or?
No, I muted it because I was messing with this little heater.
Oh, okay. We also turned our little baby space heater on today. Crease to take a crack at what the dog psychic would tell you about Rue.
I'm not getting anything here. It's the most bizarre. It's like a void. It's like I'm being sucked into it.
She has to tell Rue about her future, so hopefully she reads Rue's paw and is like, there's a yard in your future and lots of grass to pee on.
I've been watching more videos of that bunny dog, and it's just... Some of it is really compelling, and some of it is like, I think I'm just jumping to conclusions here.
Telling Rue that would cause her to immediately release her bladder.
You know, I keep telling Rue about like the home process, and I'm like, today we're going to go look at a house. Today we're going to the bank to fill out some paperwork. And it's like she doesn't understand. She doesn't appreciate what we're doing for her.
She'll be into it though.
Oh, she totally will. And the neighbors have cats. Rue will love that.
My little crouton has been so adorable lately. Like he's just really into being petted for some reason during this time.
Rue's been weirdly affectionate the last few days. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was because it was cold, but she keeps like trying to climb into my lap while I'm sitting at my computer.
And I got this styrofoam thing that he kind of uses as his little couch, and it's a shipping box, and there's a crouton-sized square rectangle cut into the middle of it, and he'll lay down in there on his back so that all of his legs are sticking straight up in the air, and he'll go to sleep, and it's the most adorable thing ever.
No.
Gal Gadot feminism? Yeah, I mean, come on. What's she gonna say?
Enough.
Playing the game. She's doing it right. Is there a crouton Insta? No, I don't have Insta. Nor does he. Anyone here has any tips on how to accept creeping permanent loneliness? Just focus your free time onto something productive. Whiskey. If it's, I guess any kind of loneliness would be involuntary loneliness, right? So like, the old adage is, if you use all of that free time to make yourself a better person, then other people will be attracted to you and you will no longer be lonely.
They told me to call that guy.
You ever work for a corp?
You trying to offend me?
Let's just say I've met a few of your kind. Quick, talk a good game, always fighting for their people, for a small fee.
And?
Suits.
It definitely seemed to me like one of the best ways to break this game was to do one mission while taking a call about another mission.
Quick, talk a good game, always fighting for their people, for a small fee.
And?
Is there a way you can just hang up on somebody?
Most of them. We'll talk later.
Does crouton pics live on? There's a couple of crouton pics on my Twitter.
You've got videos of them on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, L1 cats. It's not level 1 cats. It's just L1 cats on YouTube.
Yeah, branding consistency. Woo! That's fine.
L1 cats.
I got to shoot more videos of them. My mom was always hassling me because she doesn't have any cat videos.
Oh, I sent my mom some cute pics of Rue earlier. All curled up in her blanket that my mom got her.
Do you, I was always very worried about like, oh, I shouldn't break this down or sell it. It's iconic or legendary or whatever. I got to save that for upgrading and blah, blah. And then I got to a point, and I imagine this is like when you have your 5th kid. I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm selling it all.
I think
It doesn't matter.
I think when you get a legendary thing, I think when you destroy it, you can still craft it. I could be wrong though. Maybe chat knows how that works because I accidentally took apart a legendary gun and I was like, oh, I need that. But then I could craft it, and I had been upgrading it because it was pretty good. But when I crafted it, like recrafted it, it was way better than it ever was.
Yeah, and I really focused on upgrading a gun one time, and after I went through like 20 minutes of carefully breaking things down and getting the right materials, I even bought some from a junk shop. I found a way better gun in the next 5 minutes.
So I think if you find a legendary gun, you can break it down and just rebuild it, and it'll build something appropriate for your level, which is usually way better than upgrade. Like, the upgrade thing is usually a waste. Talk to the cops. Oh, up there. Oh, I guess I have to go talk to them, and I can't just call them. That figures. Yay, technology, I guess. Why are they all the way up there? Oh, that's a different mission. That's why. That's okay. Never mind. I'm just an idiot. It's a different mission. I already completed the other mission. Are we 25 street? Oh my god, 21 street cred. Let's see. This looks like it would be open. Oh, it looks really exciting though from all this crap in the. Oh, what's this? Oh, but
It's
I can't.
18 plus. Don't look at it on stream. It's filthy.
I can't go in. This pawn shop's not open. Like the food vendor's not here. Like this just.
Wait a minute. Is there a? Was that like a kitchenette that had steam coming off of it?
Yeah.
That's a fire hazard.
Yeah, it's like there's no
one
there.
there.
Also, why does it say
Is that a
pawn
bug or is
shop?
that a feature?
It says pawn shop, but it looks like there's noodles in there.
Well, this is the. I don't know. Like
El Dorado too. That's strange. It shouldn't it be like something Asian themed?
Wait a sec. This room doesn't have a door. That's just lazy level design. I mean, come on. Look at that.
No one will notice.
There's no door.
There's a level designer somewhere who was like, "Should we put a door in here so it looks realistic?" They're like, "No, it's fine. No
Well,
one's."
how about the fact that? Oh wait. Oh, so the pawn shop is just that one little. Maybe it's like in Fallout where you hire a robot and then build that around him.
Does it look
Maybe
like
that's how you get in?
It looks like there's weird graphical glitching behind there, and then they've hidden it with this sheet of tin.
Or somebody has they have a really bright light on in there.
No, look, it looks like the floor is all messed up, and there's just, it's like, let's just put this there.
They're doing an OnlyFans shoot in there. They got the lighting set up.
Fix forever.
I've been watching some of those Japanese vending machine channels again. And I don't know if they're like, maybe it's just not that time of day or whatever, but there'll be a vending machine with like fresh sandwiches in it. And there's nobody around. And I wonder how often they restock those and who does that. Because you're going to have to throw those away after like maybe 2 days, but realistically more like one, because they were wet sandwiches.
Are the machines refrigerated?
I imagine some of them definitely are. I don't know.
They
if
would have to
those
be if
were.
they have some sort of like lunch meat, right?
Yeah, these were they had all kinds of different meats. So yeah, they probably are. Fresh. Well, I'm not talking about fresh. I'm talking about just like, not rotten.
You know what would have been a fun feature for this game? So they just had like occasional crowds of squealing women going to like a club for a bachelorette party. Makes the city feel alive.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they had a lot of ambition, and then I don't know where the work went.
I mean, they have to do all like the missions and stuff and make sure that all interacts correctly. So that's probably a lot more difficult and took a lot more time in terms of project management. But I just want stupid features that I can enjoy while I explore the world.
I just want a hot dog from a random street vendor.
I just want a grocery store. Oh.
In Japan, they have hot and cold vending machines. Well, some of them, like they have vending machines that will just make you a frozen pizza right there.
All right.
Which is pretty impressive.
This is usually a pretty good way to trigger a bug, is to like approach something from some place.
An angle that it doesn't expect. Oh. What are you doing to that poor woman who's overlooking the cityscape?
Put her down. Yeah, she'll wake up later. She'll be fine. That was non-lethal.
Now, those super over-leveled characters, you can't actually stealth them down, right? Isn't there a mechanic that stops that?
Yes, that's right.
Japan has awesome vending machine tech. Yeah. One of the most amazing things I noticed about the Japanese vending machines is the ramen noodle ones just has a little spigot there, and you don't have to buy anything to use it, of never-ending boiling water. And if you put one of those in Chicago, I guarantee within the first week, there would be so many scalding incidents that they would have to remove it.
Yeah, here it'd be like, oh, you burned yourself? Let's sue them. And in Japan, it was like, are you stupid?
Or no, you burn somebody else. You burn somebody walking alongside you just to take, to mug them.
That's so the story about like the old woman who sued McDonald's. Apparently, that was McDonald's bad. They handed it to her without like a lid and stuff, and
it was also insanely hot, like
yeah,
insane.
like way above average.
Those cups,
and it caused scalding to her crotch, and I was like, oh.
I don't know if those exact coffee cups they were using in those days were like that, but like a lot of the structural integrity for the grab comes from the lid.
Yeah.
And they'll just squish up if you grab them hard and that lid's not on there. So I could see that happening pretty easily.
Organic food continues to be a major cause of illness. Do not eat from
At the same time, I would never, like, if someone hands me a cup of boiling liquid, I'm just going to assume the worst is going to happen because you got to live like that.
Okay.
What kind of coffee maker takes it to that temperature anyway?
No, they that came out in the lawsuit. They had to like specially modify their commercial things, and they had internal communication about it. It was like, oh, we'll save this much because instead of changing the coffee 6 times a day, we can change the coffee 4 times a day because it keeps it hotter for longer or something.
If someone, spills it on their crotch and then, they can't reproduce ever again, that's fine.
That's got to be a risk to the employees too, though, right? That's probably not even legal.
Yeah, they actually, I think that was also in the court thing, and they were like, we might get sued by an employee, but it's not going to be a big deal because we're going to save so much money on not changing coffee.
How could you save that much money? How much? What the coffee's like less than $1, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's a loss leader.
Well, they actually, I think that McDonald's paid a PR firm to drum up to be like, oh, she spilled coffee on herself. And it was like, that's even more evil. That's like Disney Corporation levels of evil.
I don't think McDonald's has ever been a scrupulous organization.
Yeah, but I mean, they're on the scale of Disney, which is crazy.
Do you think when they started that little burger joint, when did McDonald's first open? Like in the 50s?
I don't know
right?
Here, but it's a well-known story.
Yeah. Do you think they were like, one day, I hope that we blame an old woman for spilling coffee on herself?
No, I think was that guy's name Ray something?
That sounds
Ray
right.
Kroc.
Yeah. I think the only thing going through his mind was, holy fucking shit, I can't believe how many of these we're selling.
It was it was a grand experiment in human psychology, though, because it's like, I would rather have something that I know is going to be mediocre than take a chance on something that is going to be awful.
Yeah, the consistency. I mean, and it tastes good. Even today, McDonald's tastes okay. It makes my chest hurt, but
I enjoy it while I eat it, but then I feel like everything just feels greasy. Like my mouth feels greasy, my hands feel greasy.
It's
somehow
clearly,
my hair gets more greasy.
The engineering that they've done is that while you're eating it, it's so well engineered with like the taste and stuff to reward you. You think it's good, but then immediately afterwards, your body is like, you should not have put that in me.
That kind of makes me want McDonald's, but the one here is garbage.
I think McDonald's or Taco Bell over McDonald's any day.
That's usually the choice we make.
Taco Bell is such a crapshoot though, because sometimes they'll fuck it up so bad that you almost just have to start over.
Yeah. There's definitely, at the one near here, there's an A team and a B team, and you don't know which shift you're going to get when you go through. Because if you have the A team, it's great. But otherwise, it's not.
Here's the question though. Do they know? Does the B team know they're the B team?
They're probably too busy like laughing and having a good time and like texting their friends. So they're like, oh, it's fine. I don't really care.
Snorting Adderall in the back. Actually, that would probably improve their performance. I only go to McDonald's one time for every country I travel to. Have you been to the China one?
Yeah, say, are they consistent country to country? Because I've only ever had American McDonald's.
No, the Chinese McDonald's is crazy, as is all of their stuff. You know, it's localized.
My favorite was the Taiwanese KFC that I brought. I brought video back from Taiwan. Kentucky Fried Cephalopod. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
They just recently they had that Spam and Oreo burger in McDonald's China.
I'll take these, gentlemen. Thank you. Ooh, look. They've got crab legs.
Oh. In what world is that a good mod? Do you want to hobble around on peg legs? No. Well, I'll charge you a lot of money to install them.
And you know, another interesting McDonald's tidbit, Krista, do you know that in Europe, they don't have a quarter pounder? Do you know why?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
Think about it.
Oh. Never mind. There it is. The units of measurement, they use moon units there.
And, you know, they don't have a quarter pounder of cheese. You know what they call it?
I don't know.
Chat.
The
Stop
movie
it, chat.
reference.
I don't know the reference.
Hey, Kentucky
That's
Fried
such a good
Cephalopod's
movie.
hanging out. There's a guy named Kentucky Fried Cephalopod. Well, I'm assuming gender. I'm sorry.
What movie are you guys referencing?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
When Jules and I can't remember Samuel L. Jackson's character's name are in the car. Jules has just come back from Amsterdam and he's explaining the differences between Amsterdam and America.
Haven't seen Pulp Fiction. It's true.
Fantastic movie.
That's true. I just don't watch a lot of movies.
I need evidence. Where would they store evidence?
Black guy's Jules, white guy's Vincent.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Seen
Vincent
before.
Vega, our man in Amsterdam.
I've seen a lot of sci-fi movies and like historical dramas. Those are the two genres that I will watch periodically, but like I don't seek movies out most of the time.
But Pulp Fiction is like a really, really iconic movie.
Yeah, listen. I went to high school with dudes who loved Pulp Fiction. I just never watched it.
Yay! Is that more street cred?
Pulp Fiction is one of the greatest movies. It really is. I mean, think about how much of our culture just came from that movie.
Wash and rush. Open.
Oh, those washing machines. That's a nice
just opens up under the street. How do you stop people from stealing it?
If it's anything like a college dorm, you don't.
I seem to have triggered a bug in that I killed the person I was breaching, and I'm just gonna have to live with that forever. This is my life now. Alright, what else we got on the map that needs dispatching? Alright, we'll go there.
Have you done the sentient vending machine storyline?
No.
There's a vending machine that's sentient, and you can like do stuff for it.
I did the one that was it seemed like it was a sentient fortune teller, but it turned out to not be. I hear a lot of gunfire.
Krista, have you seen the Omega Man?
No.
The Omega Man is I Am Legend in a slightly different format.
Why were those even there?
To keep you from doing that.
Yeah, there's probably like wet concrete and you've got it all over your tires now on your bike and it's just flinging all over your cool boots and...
Nope. Missed my turn.
Sometimes the minimap doesn't update fast enough that I can recognize the turn is coming.
Walker, Cyber Ranger is here. That's a police officer. That was supposed to explode.
I had an interesting outfit for combat.
Is there more to neutralize? Hello, officer. How's it going? I'm just gonna rob your buddy's body there. And the job is complete.
Did you teabag him to let him know?
Wait, were those cops just like
cowering? Yes.
Why were they there? Because those guys were presumably breaking the law, right?
Yeah, that was the like when you got close, it was like, this is NCP dispatch. We need some there's any mercs in the area. We need some backup. See, because one of them died.
Backup? I didn't see that guy doing much.
That guy died. That guy died. Yeah, that guy was he was hiding over there. No, I took all their other stuff though.
Oh, that's a bummer. You can pretend to be a cop.
Oh, look, it's a gas station. It's open.
Oh, hey.
What an out-of-the-way place for a gas station.
We were just talking about that. It's interesting that they're not combined with convenience stores in this universe, but...
So wait, this gas station can service one car at a time in a back alley?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
What is that?
Bitcoins.
How about, what was it, like 32?
Yeah, I saw that. That's just bananas.
Oh, you gotta have a fall from here. 33,579.
That seems like a new record.
Oh, absolutely. That's an unhealthy growth. Should go to 80 and then crash again. Man, I don't know if I can hold on to it at 80.
What's it at right now?
32.
Oh, I just saw. Wow.
Or 33.5.
33. Wow. I think we talked about this the other day on the news, but I don't remember. My memory of the news that we last did is a little hazy. I remember when you guys were all getting into that like several years ago, and I was like, that sounds like a scam. And now I wish I'd gotten in on that scam.
There was a hard drive here somewhere, and one of the people was promoted from intern to full time, and I was like, here's a box of hard drives. You need to look for wallet.dat on these hard drives, but there's but we're gonna throw these away because they're so old and shitty. But before you throw them away and take them apart and shred them and stuff, look for wallet.dat. And he's like, okay. And then like, you know, time went on and stuff happened, and you know, that was just like when you don't have anything else to do that. And you know, slowly the pile of hard drives was getting smaller. But then one day that guy just didn't show up for work anymore, and I'm like, and it's like, oh no, what didn't think that one through.
Yeah, a quick Google would have alerted him to what you were trying to accomplish.
Oops.
Ryan, what kind of Corvette can I get for 34K? Is that bait? I can't tell. I'm not a car person.
You could, that's what my buyout is. So if I gave them mine back next year, you could get in the, like, April of 22, you could get a 2019 Stingray with 15, 20,000 miles on it.
I need more of those little green things.
Oh my god, the cats are just tearing shit up. No, they're not meowing, they're just banging noises.
You know what my sweet, precious Roo dog is doing? She's laying in her chair. Just like she always does.
Sometimes she destroys the bed, we've seen that. Played around with mining Bitcoin. Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, you look back and it was like, maybe I should get some ASICs, and it's like, well, it might not even break even. And then, you know, you look back and it's like, oh god.
Not the kind of stinger I'd be interested in buying. I too want to get a saltwater aquarium. JK. That's a lot of work.
I don't
My
think
dad
that,
used to do that.
wouldn't you have to have a pool-sized aquarium to accommodate stingrays? Aren't they big?
Yeah, they are pretty big. You would need a really big tank, I think, for that.
Asshole. This isn't your yoga class, huh?
Did he just like jump in front of your bullet? Favor the shooter.
You just missed another point-blank shotgun shot.
Yeah, you know.
It's like watching me play Ash in Overwatch.
Hey, the NCPD job is complete. And I'm carrying too much crap again. What is this?
C-flaps are hard to raise. What kind of relationship could you have with a fucking manta ray? Why would you want that?
I don't know. Well, we had like I said, my dad took care of it, but we had a saltwater tank when I was a kid, and we had a yellow tang, and 6-year-old me loved it. That was my favorite fish in the whole aquarium. And then I got very upset because one of the starfish ate it.
I'm always amazed. Like, what the fuck are starfish up to? They just lay there, and yet somehow they're successful.
They're always like squeegeed to the side of the tank whenever you're looking at them. And then one day you wake up and one of your favorite fish is gone. And it's like, where did it go? And it's like, oh, it's on, the starfish has part of its fin. Oh no. It's dead. Who knew they were so aggressive? The universe takes care of an idiot.
Takes care of a starfish.
Yeah.
I love those, you know, like under the sea documentaries where you find out all the little sea creatures, because you think about marketing and stuff, like all the little sea creatures that are on your packaging, and they're so happy and living together, and the Little Mermaid, and you find out that like even a starfish is just a vicious little fucking murderer.
Yeah.
Like, is it story mode?
Yay, I've got components now, but not very many of the other things. I did level up though. 23 street cred. What did I need? 25 for gorilla arms? Open. It's not open. They should have architected the game such that like all these little shops and stuff could just exist as a repository on Git or something, and then be like, hey, we'll just put your name in the credits, and you go on GitHub, you pick somewhere, you send us a pull request, and whoever has the neatest thing in all these shops, you make your own shop, and then we'll just put you in the credits for like doing that. And
now that would be truly innovative, but
so what you're saying is you wish that your copy of Cyberpunk mined Monero?
yeah, but that's a cool idea, though.
I'm hoping that if it went through CD Projekt Red, that they would catch that kind of a thing. But yeah, basically.
Oh, you mean the bug tracking team?
Yeah.
Yeah. But after this kind of cluster of a launch, I don't know that I have a whole lot of faith in them to implement a feature like that. But that would be really cool. You know who would be a prime candidate for that kind of thing? The people on the level 1 Minecraft server.
Oh yeah, we gotta judge
imagine
that.
them designing the infrastructure of this city. There would be no more trash in the streets.
Is that going to be what? What day are we gonna? Is that Friday?
Friday, not that and the news, because that'll take too long.
Yeah, so I need to go through and look through all of it again. I think I said that was the last day in the forum, because I was like, we'll give you guys an extra week to work on it, since we had some problems with it at the beginning of December. But
so are we? If we're going to stop it before we actually look at it, well, then we got to take it down, right? Because people will continue to.
We'll continue working, yeah. So we need to do that.
We could probably just create like save and back up the thing, and then put it on a private server so you can wander around.
Yeah, so I need to look at everyone. I've been looking at what people are posting, and then of course, obviously, we've looked at it multiple times. I have some ones still in my head as like the ones that are top contenders, but I haven't checked it in a couple days. So
Ryan and I have got to do Devember as well.
we need a montage. There's so many incredible ones. If you guys haven't checked out the server, you should.
Yeah, we gotta do a video like here's all the cool stuff on the Minecraft, and put that, and then like actually not a live stream, but actually put that on the channel.
Yeah, like make a compilation of some of the cooler ones we saw.
Oh
yeah. Mr. Beast did a video like that where it was like, whatever you make in Minecraft, I will buy you, and that video turned out really well. Like I don't know why I watched it, because I don't usually, but
because you're not into Minecraft.
Yeah, but it was like, in doing the research for the Minecraft server, it was like, oh, this is neat, and it was like, oh, that's a pretty clever idea for a contest. It's like, oh, this is a really well put together video, even though it seems like this was, done by somebody, just in 20 minutes of editing.
But how is that prize not $500,000 or more?
Well, I mean, that's what Mr. Beast does. He has like 10 million subscribers, so it literally, like, if you wanted to build something completely insane, he would be fine with that.
Yeah, well, that's like saying, you know what's a really thoughtful gift? A thoroughbred.
You need a tax cut for that now, remember?
Well, I mean, everything that was there, he seemed committed to buy. The thing that ended up winning was some guy made like a room with 3 computers, like 3 gaming computers, one for him and for his buddies, and that was the one that won.
Oh, was it like huge scale or was it just like tiny?
No, it was enormous scale. Were
the computers functional? With redstone?
Yeah, there was a redstone component, as I recall, but that was like $6,000 or $8,000 worth of stuff. So it was crazy.
You could have gotten them on a technicality where it's like, oh, the computers didn't function in Minecraft, so I'm going to send you non-functional parts.
Do you remember the Hooters that did the Toyota contest?
Oh yeah, she won.
What
Yeah,
was
she
it?
won the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So they had it was whoever sold the most wings or whatever got the biggest tips or something at Hooters, and it was like you're gonna get a Toyota. And so this girl like really busted her ass and got a bunch of extra hours, and she won. And it was a toy Yoda from Star Wars,
Oh.
and she sued him and won.
I posted pictures of most of the stuff for the prize pool too, because I've been cleaning. A lot of people were really excited, so I guess that's good.
This is gonna be a busy week.
Although there's fine print at the bottom that's like, I'm pretty sure this is the stuff we're gonna give away, but I'm not 100% sure. Because like some of the graphics cards, like it'll be a good graphics card, but it's like I don't know if it'll be this exact model because we got like 4 versions of this card. And I gotta figure it out. I want to say that I won the engagement here, but
Is it not clear? Do you still have like a...
oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah, it was on the map still, and then now it's gone.
How much money do you make off views off YouTube? Not as much as you would think.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to diversify quite a bit if you want to do anything like YouTube or Twitch. Like, if you're just doing that, it's not going to be a good time.
If we didn't have other stuff to do, we would not be earning grocery money.
Yeah.
Plus,
like, all of us still have day jobs.
Not to mention that they'll arbitrarily just not give it to you.
Yeah. See also the news where it's like, no, this is restricted content. Did you see the team YouTube was like the WAP song is a celebration of like women's empowerment and blah blah blah. And it was like, oh my god, every time we talk about that on the news we get the 18 plus.
Yeah.
Talk about a double standard.
I don't see how certain videos can be profitable. Oh, there's a... did you guys see Video Game Donkey made a video that was like, I'm done making good videos?
Yeah.
It was kind of a parody, but he went on and on about like, now I'm just going to do Minecraft Tuesday and Minecraft Thursday, and all the video essays are getting archived. This is a good video. I recommend checking it out.
Oh, that card disappeared. Alright, now I'm in a new area. Yeah, there's a reported crime over there. Let's go see.
You would think that these criminal organizations would sign up for the vigilante program, and then whenever the report came, they would know, and then they could clear out.
They get a little ping on their Google Maps that's like, hey, the vigilante's on his way.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
Murder him.
Any of you struggle with motivation for personal projects? Oh,
yes, constantly.
So much.
Almost always, as it turns out. Oh, thank you for loudly licking that up right now. How do you manage and deal with it? Poorly.
Yeah.
Usually, so I've always been this way. I feel like I've gotten better about it over the years, but I'm still sort of this way. I tend to like to procrastinate. And, I need that sense of impending doom to really hit me before I can work on something.
The thing about it is, and this is true of, so many things in life, is, and I don't know how, there's just a question mark bullet point here, and I'm going to admit that it's a question mark. But if you can push yourself to just get started with whatever, you will generally lose that lack of motivation because you'll be interested in what you're doing or excited about progress.
Or the opposite, which is a thing that you used to enjoy becomes no longer enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, that's if I'm getting paid for it, that's a different kind of motivation. That's easier.
See also day job. Now respond if that was an interview question. How do I stay motivated? I leverage project management systems to force my brain to make serotonin by doing little tiny task lists. And every time I do a little check mark next to one of them, it makes me feel better.
We'll let you know.
Be motivated.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah, when I get stuck on a really big project, I go build a computer because I usually don't screw that up, and I'm like, look what I did, and then it's like, all right, back to the retardedness.
I can go back.
The correct interview answer for that question is I've never really had a problem with motivation.
Just lie about it. I do find that breaking it into tinier pieces helps me a lot. And also, like, in terms of keeping a project when you're working with other people, organized, having that list of, like, here's something you can help me with, and then you can just send them that link. That makes it easier as well. You're building a little knowledge base for yourself. And, you know, if sometimes life comes up too, where it's like, oh, I got busy and now I can't work on this. But if you have that list and, like, all your knowledge base in one spot, whenever you're ready to come back to that, you can just catch yourself up immediately and then start working on it again.
Yeah, I do like when I leave myself notes, which is like, this is the step-by-step instructions for how you got here.
Yeah.
I like how you walked into these guys' living room instead of standing at a distance, which was totally an option, and just started casting mind spells at them. Just completely obvious.
Just making eye contact while you do it.
It was like you were putting, you know, like 2 of your fingers to your temple and staring at them, and they're like, why is he doing that? He doesn't even have to do that. What is this, a movie from the 60s?
Have you ever noticed when you loot a body, you get a sudden flash of a unique item and then it disappears? I wonder what that's about.
Being able to pick up some of the items is really annoying.
80 meters up there.
Calling all NCPD subcons. Suspected organized
Can't even
crime.
call me my Nancy. You're calling me a subcon? What? What?
Scavenger presence reported. Led by
Use psychological tricks. Yeah, I've done that before. It's like, you know, you get X once you've completed Y, but you know, it's the only person enforcing that is you. So it's a Jedi mind trick on a Jedi mind. Essentially, doesn't always work.
I used to, this is terrible, but like when I was deep in the throes of the Overwatch addiction when it came out in 2016, like I would get home and I'd be like, okay, you have to do the dishes, you have to make dinner, you know, you need to vacuum, like, you know, all those kind of like adult tasks you have to do. Yeah. And that, like, that's how I would reward myself by, like, after that you can play Overwatch.
But that's what I'm saying, like, at any time, if you were like, well, nobody would know if we just played a little Overwatch.
But I'll feel like shit when I come down later and I still have dishes in the sink.
Oh, they're uploading overheat. Oh no. There we go.
Guilt's a pretty good motivator. Well, sometimes difficult to control, I would say. Because sometimes you turn that guilt off, and then it's like, anytime you try to relax, you feel guilty. Which is another problem, but...
Oops.
Ooh.
That was a good move, sir.
I just did my dishes for the first time since Christmas. It was getting bad. Dude, dishwasher. So for a long time, growing up, we never had a dishwasher. So I was the dishwasher. And then when I got my first apartment, it had a dishwasher. And I thought that was incredible. And yet you still have to empty it. So, you know, it's an improvement, but...
You know, I use a lot of... because I usually do, like, you know, food prep style, cook a lot all at once and put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I use those, you know, those like little Tupperware, but the cheap ones that you can get now, you know. And I don't know if anybody else does a lot of that, but the lips on those things, like the way the lid secures to it, there's an indentation that points down. So when it's upside down in the dishwasher, those fill up with water and sediment. And they never dry. So you have to let those wash, and then when it's done, before the drying thing kicks out, pull out the bottom stuff so it doesn't get wet, turn all those over to empty that water out, and then start drying again. It's infuriating.
We have some like plastic Tupperware containers that we use, and I noticed that every time we open it, like they always have water pooled in the top, so I just put them in the drainer and then just put everything else away when it's ready.
Have you seen the Boston Dynamics robots dancing? That was in the news, right? Didn't we do that?
Yeah, we did a story about that.
How did you guys do the next day? Were you hungover at all?
Nope. I felt good.
I had a slight headache.
I was, yeah, definitely. It was pure dehydration. I was feeling that next day.
See, I drank a ton of water because I knew.
Yeah, I was able to water my way through it.
I knew it was going to happen. I mean, I also drank like what, 3 glasses of wine, so like 3.5 maybe. I wasn't. I mean, I was feeling it because I'm a lightweight, but
You should drink that amount of wine for every episode of the news. It was amazing.
I got real sassy there at one point. I think I said something about fuck Comcast.
Yeah, everybody was delighted with your drunkenness, Krista.
I hit that sweet spot this year. I think last year was the worst year because we had the White Claw, and the White Claw was nothing.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Try 4.5. I can't remember how many I drank. You spun around in your tinsel. I do remember laughing at that because I went to take Rue downstairs because she wouldn't stop jumping all over the bed. And I got up and the tinsel was caught in my headphones. I couldn't get the headphones off, and then the absurdity of the situation made me laugh. Ryan, I remember at one point you got like super quiet. And I was like, oh, he's hit like that contemplative stage. I felt like Sound of Silence was playing in your head.
We might have lost him again.
Oh,
no, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just imagine. I'll be living the dream with fiber. And you'll be living with, you know, whatever it is your internet is now. Where it goes out on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have anything right now.
Have you tried streaming on Sunday for a while? Do you know if it's fixed or working?
I was speed testing it the week after the last time it happened, and it was fine.
That's so weird.
And I'm pulling down Windows Video, and it's fine.
I'm not sure what I did just then. Somehow I ended up there.
Ryan needs Starlink. I don't think they're doing that in this area yet.
No, we're too low.
It won't be too long. They got to get more of them up there, but I'm sure that they're doing constant launches.
All right, we got that off the map. Oh, we did. Nice. Go to Dirty Freddy's Stash. Okay.
Oh, Dirty Freddy. That doesn't sound like a name that you want to hang out with.
They missed the name of the bar. The name of the gay bar is the Dicky Twister. That should have totally been a Sticky Piston.
I mean, the context isn't really there in this game.
They had a crafting. I guess they have a crafting component, but not like Minecraft crafting. Can't build a home. Can you? Do you have an apartment? I've actually never seen anyone like hang out in an apartment or anything like that.
Yes, and it's kind of a nice apartment for what it is.
And you can like go back and store stuff there, like if you want to hang on to some weapons or outfits or whatever.
Are you? It's funny because like, isn't the plot line that you're hiding in the city, but like you have an apartment?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like just a shitty criminal underground apartment.
Oh, okay. Does the apartment change if you're Corpo versus like any of the other storylines?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much nothing changes no matter what your origin story is. Just some slightly different dialogue options that in the end don't make a difference at all. Literally nothing.
Yeah, I think it's, how like in RimWorld you have your current profession and your childhood profession. Your current profession is always criminal.
It'd be interesting though, like if the apartment you start with changes based on what you pick. Kind of like in Pokemon, depending on you can change your Pokemon that you select.
But they would have had to do 2 introductory storylines. Did you just teleport through that dumpster?
That's true.
No, I had to jump on top of it.
There are several others planned, but they're currently gated.
Also, I kind of went on a tear over this New Year's weekend buying video games. I bought that cultivation simulator, and I spent about 45 minutes in the tutorial and got through like 3 items. That is a ridiculously complex game.
What is that game about?
It's RimWorld, but Chinese. And they took the whole like beauty system and turned it into the feng shui system. And so you have to, one of the things, like the way they explain it is, all right, you're going to have to meditate and follow these like paths of ki or chi, or however how you want to pronounce it. So if you're going on the wooden path, then you got to build in a water biome. You would never build a wooden path in a metal biome because that would hurt the wooden path. So your entire building has to keep in mind all this nonsense.
Is there any like other than like obviously the colonists liking it? Like, is there any functional difference between materials? Like, do you walk faster on some of it, or?
No, it's this whole like mystical meditation, passing through the whatever,
But what are the stats?
It makes you a better fighter if you're that.
Mm.
Did that thing just blow up?
Yeah,
I've landed on it from down yonder, so the trash exploded when I landed on it.
I think it exploded a couple of seconds later.
Well, it's a little bit of a bug in the game. It's fine.
Can we check out Astronauts? Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break on game buying. I'm telling you, Phantom Brigade, I wish I was playing Phantom Brigade right now. As I've been doing since like 4 o'clock when I bought it. It's fantastic. And I could get kind of repetitive. I've already done the same mission twice. But they have a like monthly update schedule. And it seems like a lot's going into it.
Ooh, that was close. Oh yeah, we need to do Parkitect multiplayer. Oh, I keep like waiting for you to get run over, but like you just do these little side swipes.
Handbrake.
I love Parkitect. I did a stream of that for Christmas. I think like started December. I did a holiday themed park. But yeah, I think they added multiplayer literally the same weekend that Cyberpunk came out, so it was like a down low release.
Phantom Brigade is not like XCOM. I mean, it kind of is, but the time you get a future sight, which changes the whole dynamic.
Probably gonna get that brain-eating bacteria. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was
The
just
water
thinking,
would
like,
be warm.
how polluted is that water?
Mostly not water.
That's the kind of water where if you accidentally get a mouthful, you have to chew.
Oh.
I hate it sometimes, like when you make coffee and then you get that last little bit at the end, and it's like, oh, a lot of coffee grounds made it in because the filter has failed somehow. Ugh. Seems like, ooh, look at this neon. There's nothing. Yeah, this seems good. Satan's pits. I'll take.
Oh, is it a hot dog
one,
stand?
But there's nothing you can do.
Oh.
Or sold out.
Yeah, nothing is interactive.
Are there libraries in this dystopia? Probably not, right?
Well, it's all those little
Watch it. You'll
shards.
swallow a fly.
Like, you can literally just plug a book into your neck.
Well, right, but like, we have libraries as public places now, and people hang out in those. And like, cities usually have really good libraries. So, do they have something like that in this game? Or that's a cool little feature, like a water feature.
Well, for
No,
this city that has like so much trash everywhere, these reflection ponds are surprisingly clean.
And not full of piss. Actually, they may be full of piss. They may actually just be full of piss, but you can't smell. There's no smell-o-vision in this game. Not innovative enough.
Kristen, when you want to read something, you do what everybody does. You wander the city and just pick up random data shards and insert them into yourself.
I'm looking for a copy of The Hobbit. I'll just dig it out of the trash, Brad. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm pretty sure that's how you get unwanted copies of Bonzi Buddy. And everybody has the same model laptop, which is like the slightly portable but way too big to be practical gaming laptop size.
Oh, what is he looking at? Oh, he got up.
It was his laptop.
No, I mean, like, what I wanted to see what was on his screen. The screen was on.
It's all the same.
American libraries, you know, you're shitting on the American library, but I quite liked the one. I haven't been to the one in this town, but
yeah, but what he's pointing out is the library now serves a much different purpose, and the people that are there are probably pretty unsavory. I think don't libraries do a lot more business in video media than printed media these days?
Oh, yeah,
they do a lot of them. Yeah, you can go there to like rent movies or games, and then they also do like I used to go there because they had access to giant scanners, which I needed for the work I was doing at the time. But it was really nice. I mean, you definitely had like the homeless people who were just hanging out to get out of the cold, but like that wasn't the worst thing in the world. A lot of families were there, a lot of students. Maker spaces are popular in libraries. That's a good use for them.
Our library has movies and puzzles.
Yeah, they're kind of like a community center. That's like it's a place where you don't have to pay to be.
Board games. Wouldn't that be funny if a library stocked Hungry Hungry Hippos, and you were just like making so much noise? Oh yeah, they got the drag queens now too. For some reason, drag queens go to libraries now. Never quite understood how that worked out.
Closest library near my house in Texas does a lot of community service, teaches adults computer and English skills. Yeah, they do like resume writing classes and stuff like that.
I would not mind doing a an adult education Spanish.
Yeah. That would be useful in this area too. Like you would have people you could practice with. That's part of the problem I think with some of the languages I've tried to learn in the past. Like there's not anyone really to speak it with. You don't hear it every day and it's easy to lose it.
Also, if you're really lucky, then like at the end of the course, whoever's teaching the Spanish shows up with like some fantastic tamales or something. Maybe some churros.
That is a perk of any foreign language class, is like you get to sample the food. Like the teacher will always bring in some sort of native food or candy or like weird soda.
How is that stealthy?
It was very secretive.
I got the one. The one was, you know, the first one was stealthy. Just the one. Alright. How are we doing in terms of street cred? 24 street cred.
Are you still just working at getting street cred for an upgrade for your arms?
Gotta have 25.
You have 24.
24. Should only have to take out one more gang member to get my gorilla arms.
Who do you think maintains the street cred database?
Probably Rogue at the Afterlife.
The police, like, you're just making some chit chat before your next big thing. They're like, why are you doing this? Is it for the money? And it's like, no, I need gorilla arms.
What's wrong with your current arms? They're not gorilla-y enough.
That man is sick.
I wonder, it's also amazing that the updates to that database are instant. So how are they monitoring this massive network of street credibility? Equifax.
Alright, what else we need to... Oops, that was camera mode.
Can you do good deeds in this game? Oh, you took a selfie.
Well, these are technically good deeds. You're killing criminals.
But, like, is there an option to give money to a peasant? Or...
You can give money to hookers.
Is that for services rendered or just as a kindness?
Yes, they will. They will have sexual intercourse with you in return for that money.
That's not really a good deed, then, is it? That's just
a really
transaction.
Overly extended cutscene, a really unnecessary cutscene.
It doesn't, that cutscene, I did that, and the cutscene doesn't seem like they're having fun. It just seems like they're going through the motions. And it's like, did they intend that, or was that, rushed?
I imagine that was probably intentional, right? Like,
just getting the poison out.
Gonna go ahead and breach Thug.
Or like, help me find my kid. My kid got lost in traffic. Like, there's another quest idea that's maybe less about like just giving someone cash. Are there anything like, I haven't seen anything like that in watching other people play this.
It's probably safe for you to do, but I would be very hesitant to try to help a lost kid in public.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is not my kid, and I'm trying to lead them to an area. You know what? Let's just. I'm just gonna
I'm gonna call the cops and let them figure this out.
From a safe distance, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, kid, wait 2 minutes and start screaming."
The nice man told me to start screaming. Which nice man? And then they hunt you down with surveillance footage. And it's like, no, you don't understand.
Corrupting the youth. I love how your character, you know, I mean, we see your level progression and we know what your tech score is. So presumably there are people out there with a lot better tech score than you. Why are they not mining Monero here?
Yeah, that's true.
You remember those old experiments where they would put a Windows 95 VM on the internet and see how long it took? I got to think that would be like putting a new utility anywhere in this game. How does the hooker experience compare to Witcher 3? I don't think I ever experienced the hooker in Witcher 3.
Witcher 3 was much nicer and much more tasteful, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember there was a sex scene with the first witch.
Yeah.
The one with the really low cut top.
Yeah.
During combat.
It was like, oh, things are happening, and in this game, it was just like, ugh.
Here's some bits I drunk bought New Year's Eve. Thanks for the videos.
Thank you.
Oh,
it's a weird thing to drunk buy. I bought a $40 bottle of wine. I regret it way more than you probably do.
Gotta get that Sam's Club. Buy it in bulk. It's probably, I mean, and probably it's mostly just grape juice, but it's delicious. I bought a bunch of L1T merch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we do the sale this year?
Yes.
We did. We did the holiday sale. We didn't do the video where we like talk about things that we liked, but I don't know. It just felt weird to do that this year.
Yeah, I didn't have any entries.
I had a few things, but I was like, I don't know. Something about that feels weird this year, but. Costco $7.99 for 1.5 liter of wine. I can't remember how much we paid for that. I bet I can find it on their website.
Yeah, that's my last experiment with expensive wine. Expensive wine is a waste. Also, someone pointed out in the YouTube comments, and this makes a lot of sense. You're probably never, and I know that wine is supposed to get better with age, but they were saying like 2016 is too long for the one I've drank. And I'm sure that it is, because who's going to buy a fucking $40 bottle of wine from that store?
Not only was my wine not $7.99, it was $6.98.
Nice. Is that with or without your Kroger card?
You have to be a member to shop at Sam's Club. So.
Oh.
It's nice. It's simple.
The wine at Costco in Japan is expensive. Well, it's probably all imported, right? Can you grow grapes in Japan?
I would think so. I think they have a similar climate to us. Like, they're temperate.
But you don't have a lot of land to throw at it.
Did the exclusivity make it taste better?
But wait, we couldn't even do grapes here, Krista.
You can do grapes here.
Not those kind.
Oh yeah, maybe not that kind. There are some wineries here in Kentucky.
Sometimes I'll spend a lot on whiskey if it's in a bottle shaped like a shotgun or a bull. Yeah, I don't really I can't detect the nuances in like really expensive bourbon and shit either. It just all tastes like poison to me, which is what it is.
Yeah. We should. That would be just be an interesting engagement challenge sometime, like next year for the holiday stream. We should, like a week before we do it, we should go on the forum, make a topic, and it's like, tell us what to drink, so we can ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, you still just basically throwing a dart because everybody's gonna have a different suggestion.
Yeah.
I really like the apple cider, and it was just the right strength for me. It wasn't super weak sauce, but it also wasn't like super
Overwhelmingly, yeah.
Well, that stuff is about the same as your standard beers, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna blow up a drug lab.
Doing Amazon wish list for drinking.
Drunk is drunk. I get Hennessy drunk. Krista was going through like all the different liquors in her little candies, and they were all very stereotypical, like urban rapper drinks.
We get those in our stockings every year from my in-laws. There was like some sort of, there was one that was champagne. I can't remember what I tried on stream. It might have been a vodka one. Sounds like your in-laws like rap. I don't think so.
But the weird thing about our timeline is that more and more in-laws in this world do like rap.
Yeah. Ding.
What was that?
That's me getting an email. We sent a counter offer on the house.
Yay.
Weird. I feel like I need an adult. Like I'm not an adult. I'm like, I need an adult to do this. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. That's how it feels. Not in a negative way. Like, not like, oh no, I feel like I've made a mistake, but like just I can't believe I'm doing this kind of thing.
The realtor will kind of just like, force you through the process. So
yeah, we're using yours actually, and I mentioned that you referred us.
And she has no idea who I am.
Oh no, she said she loved working with you. So obviously,
that's total horseshit. I was actually during that process, like I went to see a house with her, and then 2 days later, that was back when I was also shopping for my truck. So I was at a Toyota dealership here in town, and I was there to see a truck that they had, but they couldn't find it, so I was just standing outside. And the other guy that was standing out there was like the guy who was waiting to prey on the people who came onto the lot,
Yeah.
And so she had explained to me during the show in the house, they have a deal at the Toyota dealership where you can just go for as many car washes as you want. And she goes like 4 times a week.
Her car did look gleaming.
And so
house we looked at.
She was doing that day. And she walked up right next to me. And like I was just talking to her, like I assumed that she knew who I was. And I don't even think she looked at me. But I think she assumed I was just one of the Toyota people. And she was like, yeah, well, where's Dave this week? And I was like, what?
So uncomfortable.
So we had this really awkward moment. And I was like, I guess you don't recognize me, right? And she was like, what? And then she looked at me. And then like,
oh, no.
Then she just gave me like a full hug. She just embraced me. She was like, I'm so sorry.
I feel secondhand embarrassment at that story. Like, I'm up. Yeah, I kind of expect that. They probably work with dozens of people.
Yeah.
Like from week to week. That's not anything too crazy, but it's really funny that she didn't recognize you. Oh, you're talking about dessert drinks. I'm into mudslides. I think I did mudslides once for the holiday news.
Plastic yarmulke? Hennessy's trash. I remember when I was in college, I'd spent all those high school years listening to fucking Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and I was like, oh, I want to try all these things that they talked about. So I tried Hennessy, I tried Seagrams with orange juice, and it was all kind of nasty. Turns out those ghetto drinks, they drink because they're cheap.
Hennessy tastes like kerosene smells.
Woo! Alright, is there anything else worth stealing here?
I'm jealous of people who are into things like alcohol and food a little bit, because that's something you can enjoy every day, at least like with food. And imagine taking that much pleasure in an everyday task like that.
But people, they have this deep. What?
That's fine.
How is that going to solve the problem?
Are you gassing it?
I accidentally gassed myself.
Played yourself.
I don't know what you're up to over here.
I did, yeah. That was a mistake.
But the alcohol thing, like, how do you get to the point where it just doesn't taste like rocket fuel?
I don't know.
Why do you keep throwing grenades at that?
I think it's gonna explode. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is called the Heisenberg principle. Are you destroying a meth lab?
Yeah.
That makes more... You throwing grenades at that giant bin of stuff makes more sense now.
If I were going to cook meth, I wouldn't have multicolored hair. Seems like that would call attention to you.
You know, when you're going in to get your Sudafed at the pharmacy?
Yeah, you're memorable. I was at Meijer the other day, and I was in the car, loading up the passenger seat, because that's what you do in that car. And one of the employees ran out, and he was like, "Are these your eggs?" And I was like, "I guess, I don't know." And I'd walk off without my eggs, and he was like, "I hope I got the right person." And she said, "The red and gray jacket." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess those are my eggs." But it occurred to me that, she had seen hundreds of people that day, but she remembered what the jacket looked like. I couldn't tell you what anybody I encountered in the entire weekend was wearing. I don't retain that.
Really?
No, not at all.
I guess it depends. Like, if I'm just, going down a random aisle, like, I might not be paying that close of attention, but, like, I could probably at least tell you what color someone was wearing, or if they had long or short hair, or, like, that kind of stuff. General stuff.
The Nestle. I wasn't wearing the Nestle hat. They gave, there's two, well, there's probably more than two, but there's two main ones that I watch of the Pakistani reaction channels. Reactistan is the shitty one, but they did Nestle Pure Life water. It was a mixed reaction. Some people thought it was sweet. Some people thought it was salty.
Have you thought about getting one of those, like, Berkey water filters or something like that?
Well, that's one of the funny things about it is they're not that primitive. Like, it's fun seeing them experience things they never have before, because they're kind of like, separated from our society. But water is too simple, because the
Everyone-
girl's drinking it, and they're like, "Oh my god, have you ever had filtered water before?" And she was like, "Well, there is a reverse osmosis plant outside our village."
Yeah. It's,
Well, that looks like a neat restaurant. Let's go in there. Log. My social credit
Maybe
score's
these
not
are-
high enough.
How about this? Here's the canon that can put this to rest in your mind. The street cred social score, they know you're a criminal. So these doors are only locked for you.
look at all these people who are afraid.
I heard the gunfire.
What I
Oh.
don't have an explanation for is why there are no cars in like the biggest city in the world.
Wow, I did all that work. I blew up the meth lab, and I still only have 24 street cred. I think that's it for me tonight.
Well, it is 10:55.
Oh wow. Wow, that went by quick.
Oh, I can't save while I'm in combat. Who
Where's
am I
the
in combat
combat?
with?
All those people who are afraid, maybe the NPCs.
All right, let's go full
You're
exterminator
at war
mode.
with yourself.
You're so conflicted you can't finish the game until you find peace. Oh, there she is. Are there any others? It still says you're in combat.
This is like those stupid clear missions in 7 Days to Die. You can never find the last guy.
Yeah. There's just one guy who's like huddled down somewhere in a lab, and he's like, "Oh, he didn't find me."
He's in the ventilation system somewhere.
Poof, no more lab, just like the doctor ordered. Of course, let's not kid ourselves. Glitter's here to stay. But at least we hit the fuckers making it where it hurts. Oh, one last thing. Arati asked me to thank
Is there
you.
still a
Said she's
large
very
Wendy's
grateful.
cup behind
So
you?
thanks.
On my little table here? No, just these nasty ass noodles that I couldn't finish.
Oh yeah, street cred 25. I just had to go exterminate some more people.
Go get your gorilla arms, and that's how we'll end the stream.
Yes. Oh, I need to mine some more Bitcoin. Hang on.
Gotta pay for those arms. Daddy needs a new pair of arms. I can't imagine. I mean, having gorilla arms would be pretty fucking sweet, but not being able to feel anything in your hands seems like that would make life difficult.
I feel like you couldn't pick anything up.
Well, just grooming yourself would become very difficult.
Oh, I can't. Wait. What is this? Ooh. See, when they're colored yellow, I think it's part of the quest, but then it never really matters too much.
Now, Krista, if you move into this new house,
Yes.
will there still be a unified, like, computer room? Specifically, what I'm wondering is, will raid night still be in the background, or will we lose that?
I don't know. We kind of have an area like picked out that we think would be good for an office. But I don't know. We'll have an extra bedroom now. Like it's 4 bedrooms. So like one will be an office, one will be our bedroom, one will be a guest room, and then we don't know what we're gonna do with the 4th yet.
Well, we were able to get a few knickknacks, some used. I found a deal on some used stuff, but I was able to get some knickknacks in last tax year for you guys. So you will have
for the stream.
yeah, you will have pretty killer stuff for the stream.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind like kind of upgrading my setup for home streaming. Something that has been long delayed and would be nice.
I think I gotta check it out when it gets here, because some of it, like I say, some of it's used. But I think what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna take home one of the GH5 cameras, which is like, you know, really nice.
The nice ones, yeah.
And you can use it for streaming and like just learn how to use it and just do good stuff with it.
Yeah. More Rue videos, but in high def.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, wiping your ass with gorilla arms. Wow. Never even considered that.
I don't know if I would like that better or worse though, because it's like, you know, you could just put your arm in the dishwasher for a while. That might be a level of clean I've never experienced.
Okay, so your arms are clean, but what about your ass?
Maybe like the wrist could spin around or something.
I was watching those. One of the new things I'm into, Chad. I don't know if we talked about this before, but is ridiculously luxurious RVs on YouTube. And there's this one guy, and he'll spend like an hour 45 just touring a $500,000 RV. And one of the things that the really high-end models have is the macerator. Do you know what the macerator is?
Yeah, where it grinds up your poop.
Oh yeah.
How about the Ripper Doc puts a macerator in where my colon is?
You never have to worry about that awkward thing where you go to a party and then you go drop a deuce and then it doesn't flush because it just macerates up.
It's
Yeah.
pre-macerated.
So, and put a little shutter in there, and then just whenever I feel like it, I activate the shutter and just blend it right on out.
There's just a spray in the bathroom.
I could have a like a little extra port, you know, like somewhere in my lower back. And if there's a bidet, I could hook up to that, and then that would give me some water to run through the macerator, like a garbage disposal.
So was it these gorilla arms, or was there somewhere else that had better ones, chat? I'm at Vic's.
Oh my gosh, they're actually called gorilla arms.
They do have levels, but I don't know if other shops have higher levels or if that just happens later.
Salted salmon, you must not have been here when we talked about the cookie place the other day.
Where are the better gorilla arms? Like, is that a different Ripper Doc? It's like, sorry.
I don't know. I don't know if that exists. Nobody's responding. Oh, there are better ones, but you might be locked out based on level.
Where?
That's the best you can get at 25.
Wow.
Well, bananas.
Salted salmon, the TLDR about the cookie place is that they had a river of poop in their basement.
Oh, I went over it in the last stream, and it was
Yeah.
just graphic detail. But at the same time, like, you know, we had that really big rain, and you know how, like, that's been a problem for, like, the last year or two, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to dig up the sidewalk, because the plumber said, oh, we're going to have to dig up the sidewalk to fix that. They were wrong. It was that same thing. It was just the backup was so far that branch had, like, it had backed up all the way to the branch where, like, the sanitary sewer and the storm sewer combined. And, yeah, I mean, that slug of just, you know, Golgotha and Viscera was just bad.
Legendary. Does it change the model of your character's arms? Do they get really hairy? I hope so.
No, they're just robot.
It changes it changes your knuckles and stuff. All right,
I was imagining you would just be like your normal slim model, but then you would just have like, you know, you'd be ripped in the arms.
Have you ever? You should check out professional arm wrestlers, because they literally look like that. Because there's weight classes. So some guys just have like a really big right arm because they want to be as skinny as possible to get the lower weight class.
All right, $280 for this shotgun for those components. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You're gonna have to wait, Rudog.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Did my mic pick that up?
Yes.
Yep.
Rude just woke up and wants to go outside. You're just gonna have to wait. Sorry.
What's the latest you'll give her a pee opportunity? Like if she gets up in the middle of the night, what happens?
She doesn't do that anymore. When she was a puppy, she did that, and I usually would take her out when she was little because puppy bladders aren't very big.
Have a look.
But now usually we take her out before we go to bed, and then she's fine until we're ready to get up in the morning. She's making a lot of noise.
Vic, I got 3 crates of shotguns for you. Or no, wait, what are these? Sniper rifles. I got 3 crates of tech sniper rifles for you. Can we trade that for some new Kiroshi optics?
Probably not, since those are literally just on litter the gutters and streets. We pull about 20 of these out of the storm drain every Wednesday.
Oops. Oops. Got 38,000. Oh, I'm so close. Actually. Alright, now guess I just need to craft a few more. Do I have the components to do that? I don't have a lot of components. Alright, let's see what else I can. Oops. Whoopsie.
You should see if he has a banjo for sale so you can strap that to your back. Hi, Ruru.
I gotta scrap all these drinks. They got so many batteries in them. I mean, look at all the lithium-ion type A cells. This is amazing.
Rude now.
Disassemble all 3 of these coffees.
Think of the compost material.
Are you guys on the level 1 Discord?
Yeah.
What's happening right now?
No, I'm not on it. I need an invite link.
Oh, I was like, why? Did they tag moderators? I didn't see anything. No. Yeah, hang on. I thought you were in here. Oh no, I see Wendell's in here.
Woo! Alright, now I can make more shotguns.
Okay, I sent you an invite. Did you see that? Should pop up in your Discord.
I was thinking about swapping some chrome.
Oh, this is the one that somebody else made, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have an official one. This is all community run.
Well, I mean, they did give me admin on that, so it is kind of official, but kind of also community run.
Yeah. We're not as involved in it as we are on like the forum.
Oh, who made the logo? That's actually not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. They also have some really funny emotes in there too. They have one of you drinking that I love, and I need to put on the. Do we have it on the channel? I don't think we. Oh, maybe we do.
Or that's from the PGP.
Do. But there's some other funny ones on there that we need to steal.
They also got the best one ever. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
I'm like looking through them now.
The wet lettuce.
Oh, you're talking about the PGP one.
Yeah, the same people made those.
Yeah. You can't use. I was looking at the level 1 Discord. You can't use them between servers unless you pay. And that's BS.
I wonder if Kane is actually Kane on there. The one who's on the PGP Discord is. He's a mod. He's there right now.
Oh, I've got so many knives. Oh, I've got so many clothes. Alright, I've got tons of stuff I can scrap.
Fashion souls.
Yeah, but you got that Western look going on. You really want to disrupt that?
Yeah,
I mean, if there's better gear, though.
Alright, what all can I scrap here? Oh, 404. Wow. That's a club. Alright, I do need
I found a knife that was 600 way
Good.
early, and that trivialized a lot of those psycho missions.
Well, aren't you supposed to take him alive?
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I wonder if that unlocks something if you do that, though, because she's like trying to get him help or something. Alright, so I got that. Ooh, there's a lot of things here I could scrap, too. These are common. I don't care about any of this. Woo! Knuckles electrical, Knuckles. I guess that's a thing I can upgrade. Physical or electrical? I don't know. Alright.
Is there a way to... Could you do like a Spotify listen along on Twitch? Is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe. You can kind of do that with anything that Amazon Movies has.
No, I'm thinking like, you know, everybody, you got the playlist, but then it keeps you up to date in real time. Then you can voice over it. I should add that.
Old spotted trench coat. Yeah, that's gotta go. It's gotta go. Anything that has requirements things has gotta go. I'll keep the aviators. We'll get rid of the frog goggles. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
I heard about some sort of podcast today, but I haven't looked it up yet. It's literally just like theories about who pooped in the floor at my wedding. And I don't know how many episodes it is, but it's intrigued me enough that I want to look it up.
Did anybody do anything embarrassing at your wedding? Was there any like excessive drinking or anything?
No, everyone was really good. We were pleasantly surprised by the bar tab. It was not that bad. We had budgeted more for it.
I swear to you, and Wendell, I know you'll back me up on this. They were charging cash at that bar.
They definitely were.
They shouldn't have been. Because I asked my family about it, and none of them said they had to pay.
Okay.
And then I asked my friends about it, and they also said they didn't have to pay. So maybe it was just you guys.
On a scale of 0 to cheese counter awkward, anybody that was more than 0.2 cheese counter was being charged for alcohol in terms of their awkwardness.
And it wasn't me. I saw it happening to other people.
No one else mentioned it to me.
So weird.
Yeah, that's odd.
There might have been like a misleading, like, you know, oh, you should definitely leave a tip kind of thing.
Yeah, so maybe there was like a miscommunication somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
We paid for all that.
Alright, I have generated so many components. I'm turning all my old clothes into sniper rifles.
Just like in real life.
Again, if we could actually do that, it would destroy the Goodwill Corporation.
I think the only thing awkward, Jeffrey Epstein died on my wedding day. My aunt brought it up while I was getting ready.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about that.
Yeah, and my entire family like turned and looked at my aunt in horror, like, "Why would you bring up something so dark today?" And I kind of laughed, but
thinking about swapping some chrome.
Yeah, it died. Quotations, but
well, that's weird. And
it felt very awkward, but I thought it was kind of funny because it was awkward.
And my timeline of that happened a lot. Your wedding happened a lot sooner than that.
Yeah.
What about his girlfriend? Wasn't that supposed to move forward this year somehow?
I think she wanted bail, maybe.
But I mean, doesn't
like I think that was denied. That was the last thing I heard.
I guess they're just going through like the discovery. She's just charged with helping him do that, right?
I think so. Yeah, so 6 days ago, judge denies. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I've never heard it said out loud. Ghislaine? Ghislaine Maxwell.
Finally, look. Oh my gosh, look, I'm gonna have $39 left over, and I had to make so many sniper rifles. But, yeah, now I can double jump. Look at that. Why can't I double jump?
Are you going a little higher? I can't tell.
No.
I gotta
There we
think that there's good. You know how when you get a new pair of glasses, that first day it's kind of weird because you can't orient to them all of a sudden. Imagine how much magnification of that there would be if all of a sudden you had gorilla arms and double jump on the same day, first day.
I just switched out my knuckles for electrical damage knuckles.
I do that on Wednesdays.
Did I get more stuff? Oh, I got a legendary contagion. I can swap that out.
You know how I haven't been to a optometrist in like a decade?
Right.
I was when I was home for Christmas, I was like, you know what? I need to make an appointment at the optometrist. And my mom was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, doctor, insert doctor name here."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, he just disappeared like 2 years ago. There was no practice."
I know where he disappeared to.
I was like, "Oh, did you get your records?" And she was like, "No, nobody got their records. He literally is just gone."
I also, you know what I love about that story? Because you do the same thing I do. You could just find a new doctor closer to where you live now.
No, we know where he's at.
You're gonna go to the same doctor you went to.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, but I didn't necessarily want to go to him as much as to go and get my records.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently that's out of the question. So my, procrastination in doing that is, I don't have an excuse anymore. I got to just find a person in town.
Is it the guy that was there forever that has the last name with a lot of syllables that begins with an M?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I know where he went, but if it's not him,
It's
then
a
I don't know.
different disappearing doctor.
I don't. This is a. That's so funny.
That is really funny.
I wonder how many instances of that are there in the game at this point. What is that even supposed to be? A fan?
Probably. Oh, this is like when you get in a weird Gmod server and like half the textures are just pink and black squares.
Neat. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this stream. I mean, from far away, it's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then you go up, and it's like, oh.
Oh, that looks like that's a missing asset.
Yeah, I don't. There were some really interesting threads about how this game was supposed to have like parkour, and like this double jump thing feels like the beginning of that because I've done all kinds of stuff, but I think that there's so many bugs when you do that they toned it down or took it out in the final one.
What game was it? Is Mirror's Edge where you could like run through a city like that?
Yeah, I think you were supposed to be able to do that in this, but they took it out because it was so buggy.
I could see that being a hard feature to implement in a city this scale.
Oh my gosh, it's a guy in a wheelchair. His name's Baron Green, and he's with the Aldecados, which is a nomad group.
Wonder what he's doing in Night City.
Just wheeling around, I guess.
You should buy him a burrito.
You want my old legs?
I'm not using them. Which begs the question of why you don't have double jump legs.
You're just hopping over him.
I can totally see like how is there could not be a more dystopian future than like you walking out of the Ripper Dock with your brand new double jump legs and a homeless person with no legs like sitting there on the curb as you just throw yours into the trash.
Yeah, I mean, there's just boxes and boxes of arms and stuff like that last mission. There was a huge box of Terminator arms, and it's like, I'm pretty sure we could get one of these working.
Not gonna need these useless lumps of meat. Chuck them right in there.
Man, I'm so glad I'm not dependent on legs anymore.
I think that's it for us. Good night, everybody.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Oh Lord, I can't find the thing.